Welcome back to the TriFecta Airsoft podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you never miss another podcast. Also, do me a favor. Go on to whatever podcast app you listen to us on and give us a rating and review. That really helps us rank in the searches. Thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast.
Thanks,
All right,
man.
we're rolling.
There we go. Let's go ahead. I watched a couple of your interviews before. I seen like that you out here connecting and networking with a lot of these other airsofters and getting their stories out there. I like that.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So it's been great. I was really looking forward to getting you on here.
Hey,
I can't, bro. First of all, welcome. And I have heard your name, positive, obviously, so many times and from so many people that I've talked with that bro. And I remember I reached out to you a while ago, and you were like, "I'm
yeah,
not ready yet, but you're busy," and so this has been a few months in the making.
a few months in the making. Like, hold up. First off, let me ask, honest, Dominus. It's cool if you know what I'm saying. We go. Okay, all right, cool. We good.
Absolutely, bro.
All right.
Listen, man,
Um,
I don't do anything to these. If it doesn't get monetized, I don't give a shit.
hey, it's the
Like on
Marine Corps
YouTube?
birthday tomorrow. It's Veterans Day. Like I'm out here.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Because
No,
anybody
man.
that knows me knows that I spark up a
Hey,
lot.
be
Um,
free, man. Be free.
but before I get started, I want to shout out everybody. Shout out Lance. Shout out Spoon. Shout out Call Sign Rice. Hey, Kicking Mustang. I saw everyone that came up on here. I love all you guys. Um, Airsoft Dad, CFT Performance. Shot Zone. I love you, Ethan. You're the guy. And Steve CQB, man, I love PBZ. They're my guys too. Also, SSA Houdini. I always have a hard time with the H's and S's, but those are my guys. I love all you. Yes. This has been like months in the making, man. And when you first hit me up, like I was like, I don't know. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful and be like, no, I don't
Not at
want to do
all.
it. It wasn't like that. I was like, hold up, man, this is the first time I ever really told my story, and you like your podcast is very in depth. Like you ask certain questions, and I wanted to be able to give you positive and real feedback. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Especially to give your platform value. And I didn't feel as if I was at that point yet. I still had some things to do, and I still got some things to do right now, like
Sure.
the tournament at Shot Zone November 19th. And I wanted to have like where I felt like experienced enough to be like, all right, I can do this. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, anyone that's watched this or listened to it wherever, most of them get kind of personal. Like it's not mostly, most of them are not all about airsoft. I'm not asking a whole shit ton of questions about airsoft. Obviously, anyone that's heard a handful of these knows my background, knows I have not played airsoft on the field. I have, experience handling a lot of different airsoft guns and all that shit. You guys have heard that story forever, but so it gets, I do on here what I do in real life. When we go
Mm.
out somewhere with people, man, I don't care. I love people. I really do, man. I used to not like people.
Hey,
So,
it's very fair. I'm the same way. Like people, because that's the crazy thing. Because like when you asked me to come on your platform, I was in like this space, man, of like. And keep in mind, I'm not really knowledgeable on airsoft either. And I'm gonna keep that G real with everyone, and even people that know me know I don't know everything about airsoft. Like I'm still understanding what I understand what airsoft is now, like what it is, like what you're doing
hmm
here. Um, but overall, like it's still like a mystique to it. Like you don't really know. Like this, I'm getting deep into the speed soft realm. The mil sim realm is. I mean, we were in the military. It's the same thing, kind of, sort of. It's kind of like
yeah,
okay, more. You pay for a lot of money for some Gucci gear. I'm like, ugh. I ain't got the money for all that, dog. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like you got Desert Fox out there. They're spending $800, $900 on grenades and pyro. I'm like, hey, look, you got
bro.
$300 for the ticket. I gotta get gas there, or maybe a hotel. I'm figuring all that out. Y'all like bing, bing,
hmm
bing, bang. I'm like, I can't even compete like that, you know?
Uh-uh.
Um, so,
Same. When I hear all these people talk like that, bro, I'm like, I don't want to get, I get personal on here, but I don't want to go, bro, where do you get the money for this shit?
mm,
Okay? Cause give me some tips here, cause I want to
yeah,
go to all this shit too.
and see, that's another thing that I sat back and understood about these sponsorships or some
Yeah.
sponsorships that people get, especially with airsoft. Like, because you say you want to get personal, so we're gonna get into the nitty gritty real fast. You feel me?
Yeah, do it, man.
Um, so I didn't really get into airsoft for the content, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what a lot of these people do. They play the sport, and or they get into it like, oh, this is dope, like Call of Duty. Oh, great, 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 great. And they see people with GoPros, or they see people with channels, and they think, oh, I want a sponsorship. Now I'm the real deal, you know. And that's not the case. And I feel like a lot of people who go in it for the content per se or care about the numbers, I feel like you're missing out on the sport and the and the overall enjoy of it, because like I didn't really get into the sport for any of the content because I was like, man, I was homeless. You feel me? I was homeless, and like I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. You know,
Yeah.
I became like a tattoo piercer for a little bit. I did like Black Lives Matter protest in my hometown. Did one of the largest protests for that. And it took a lot to get me here. Hold up. Because I'm just, it's so many like thoughts and emotions that I'm just like, I
Right.
want to tell you so much, you know, and I got to realize that we got time, you know, we got
Yeah,
time. So,
dude, you're good, bro.
um, so where I want to start, we're going to start,
Well, why don't you start at the beginning?
like
Where are you from? Where'd you originally grow up, and how was your
my
experience growing up? What
childhood.
led you from growing up to going in the military?
Ooh, good question. Good question. So I grew up in Alton, Illinois, which is like a little suburb of St. Louis, Missouri. You know, I grew up there. Um, but I don't really know where I was born per se because my childhood was so interesting, and I was me and my mom have a very beautiful relationship, should I say. So when I was growing up, and this is kind of hard, I'm gonna go all over the place to kind of sort of,
That's
because
fine, dude.
I don't really open up well, you know, and I never really, like I said, I never really told my story out like this. So it's interesting for me.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. Take your time, man. It's fine.
so as far back as I remember growing up in Illinois, and I went to um, what was that? What was it? Head Start. I don't know if you know what those are. It's like
I do.
a
Yeah,
daycare.
yeah. My
I remember.
sister is a social worker, and she
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
ran she ran one of the Head Starts in Akron, Ohio. Yep.
yeah. So I remember starting out there, and I went to a little elementary school called West Elementary School, and I was raised by my grandmother, and my grandmother's daughter was my mom, obviously, but it wasn't like this is my adopted family. Um, but I didn't know that per se. I
Mm.
just thought this was my family,
Mm-hmm.
and this is as vague as it is for you, kind of sort of being like, okay, this is how it was for me. I'm kind of sort of this is my consciousness where you were a child, and you're like, oh, this is life. This is what my hands do, you know.
Yeah.
And this is what I remember is growing up with this older lady, and this was my grandma. This was my mom, and then I remember early elementary school. I remember meeting this lady, and it was my real mom, and I then kind of like memories and stuff was flashing back, and I remember, man, my childhood was just very all over the place, man. Like I'm trying to one second, maybe like having the headphones is like kind of like messing with me. I'm not for sure, but it's trying to gather my thoughts.
Yeah. Go
Um,
ahead, dude. You're fine.
no, ooh, this is like the
It's
first
making
like it's so
it's making
much for me.
sense,
Like
and
I
yeah,
might cry on this thing. Like it's
you're
so
allowed to
much.
get
Like
emotional,
I'm
bro.
I'm peeling back a band-aid because I never really opened up. Like I never really did, and I really want to.
Really.
No, no, not really, no, no. And
Yeah.
it's like, and that plays a huge part in like the Marine Corps and all that, and why I went into it. Because growing up, I was like this protector for my mom.
Mm,
My real mom. She had like different boyfriends and stuff like that come and go. So I was had to be like the man, the
mm-hmm.
strong man, to look out for my mom. And
Yeah.
she got married and all that jazz. And I remember going back to the adopted family back in Illinois, and because my mom and I moved all over so much, so that's why it's really hard to pinpoint my younger years, like my younger years, like when I was like eight
Mm-hmm.
or nine, and then when I start having more conscious memories, now I'm in like middle school, and I'm like in North Middle School, and that's like in Godfrey, Illinois, and it's like um, down the street type of thing from Alden. It's like a neighboring city, you know.
Yeah.
Um, where did I begin with that? What led me to the Marine Corps ultimately was I was a high school kid and I didn't want to go to school anymore. I had good grades. I was a jock. I played some high school football, a little bit, not a lot of it. I didn't really make the team or anything like that. I was did tryouts in the summer. I
Yeah.
played baseball. I did make the team a little bit, but but it got into the way of my Saturday morning cartoon, so I quit playing that.
Yes. Oh, those are the best, dude.
But track though, I did play in track. I did do that. That was really well. But I didn't want to go do any more school, so I was like, what am I going to do in life? I didn't really know. So I was playing Call of Duty. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll go in the military. Let's see what that's about. So I went to each branch, and I was like a junior at this time. Went to each branch, and I knocked on each door, and I got to the Marines, and I was like, oh, cool. What's this information? He's like, hey, we can do this. I'm like, all right, that's cool and all, but you say you got to. This is the best challenge, and that's what piqued my interest. Like, this is the toughest challenge that society has to offer. So at that
Yeah.
time, I'm like, kind of like, oh man, if I could do this, I could do anything. So I didn't really have much going for me. I didn't really have a job. I didn't really go. I wasn't much of a party or a social person, like at all, really. Like, did I
Mm,
have friends and stuff? Yeah, but I didn't go to parties. I didn't really do any of that. I didn't really get invited to prom or nothing like that.
yeah.
I wasn't like that person. So I really wanted to push myself. So
Mm-hmm.
going into this challenge, actually, pause before I walked out the door. 'Cause I was like, all right, cool. Thank you for your information. Cool, cool, cool. I'm gonna go see what the army's talking about. He's like, you gonna go talk to the army? He's like, come on, man, don't be a pussy, man. Sit down here. And I was like, ugh. Like, all right, like,
Oh, I
and that,
love it.
and that's how I went into the Marine Corps. To
Yep.
answer your question. Long story short, that was a long rant, but I'm sorry.
No, no, dude, that's no, that's
Ooh,
good. Yeah,
ooh,
because
we get,
sometimes it's not an easy thing it's not a simple thing. Well, you asked me if somebody asked me why I went in the military or why I chose the Marine Corps, like it's not I got bullied. I got picked on when I was like 10 years old. I mean, physically beat up like for a year. Okay.
mm,
Got my ass kicked by older kids. Uh, Still to this day, don't know why. Never knew why. And terrified, fucking terrified. Okay. To
mm,
walk home from school. And my dad's buddies were Marine and Army vets. And they'd come over every Saturday or Sunday, play, poker and shit. And I heard their stories from World War II, from Korean War, and I was like, that I want to do that because nobody will fuck with me then.
See, I had moments when I was a kid, and like this is probably why you hear so much about me through other people because I value friendship so strongly.
Mm,
Because when I was recalling some earlier memories, when I had this ragtag team of friends in this apartment complex that we grew up in, and like I remember there was like this bully. I don't know how old I was. I had to been like in the single digits, like seven or something.
mm-hmm.
And I remember the bully was maybe like 10 or so. I remember I had to look up to him, but like one of my friends was getting bullied by him. So I walked up to him, punched him in the stomach, and he like slumped over. And then he went home, and we are thinking, oh, cool, 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 hurrah, hurrah, and kept playing on the playground. And then I remember getting pulled by my shirt off the slide, and they started beating me up, and they were serving dirt in my mouth. And as they're sitting on me, serving dirt in my mouth, and
Ooh.
like I'm crying and like kind of like throwing up, and I can't breathe. I'm gasping. I'm feeling the ants all over my face. And as like I'm looking up, like so I'm like on my stomach, low crawling pretty much. And I'm looking up, and I see my friends looking at me. Often, like just they're like maybe like 10 feet away from me, looking at me, getting dirt straight in my mouth after I defended their brother, and they just turn and walk away. And that was the last time I was ever jumped or beat up ever again like that. So like when
Mm.
you say like how you feel about the Marines and like you heard your people's story, like those moments like that is what molded me into this person. I wouldn't say I'm aggressive, but I would say I'm very resilient and like I'm motivated by no one but myself because I know that I don't need no one but myself.
Yeah.
And going through the Marine Corps really taught me that per se, or really strengthened me up for that,
Right.
and tapping into how you heard those stories. I didn't hear any stories like that growing up, like it was gangster stories or hood stories. Oh, hey, drive-by type stuff. And that's kind of like,
Mm.
you see that, so you're pretty much in the war zone, right? So
Yeah.
when I was opening up my Green Monster and I'm hearing about Corporal Johnson getting in a hotel, Hilton, and he's getting he's a captain or whatever, and he's getting tortured by, in a POW camp, I'm like, yo, like, that's when reality set in for me is like, I'm in the service.
Yep.
Yo, what I mean? Like, it was interesting. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, man. See, that's one thing I definitely did not expect or know about going to boot camp was the amount of history and tradition that they teach you. And the other thing that I didn't realize until I started learning that in this environment where they're beating the fuck out of you, beating you down, just,
Mm.
breaking you down as this group, as this team, and you're, sleep deprived, food deprived, and just, the
See,
macho you
that
came
was
in
that
with.
was normal for me because I
Yeah.
grew up poor, and like I want to say poor, like that. Like I don't want to say it like because I had an adopted family,
Yeah.
like and all that, but like I didn't have the best stuff. You feel? I didn't have,
No, dude.
I had hand me down type stuff. I didn't go
Right.
shopping. So like that didn't affect me. The sleep, that deprivation, that's like hearing gunshots and you kind of like, and you kind of up a little bit. So that was kind of normal. Like
Yeah.
boot camp didn't affect me, luckily, because I was already fit because I did some sports, I did wrestling, I did some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Spiritually, I got broke in boot camp. I cried in church, and like I cried in church
Mm.
for multiple reasons. One, because I miss my grandma, but two, because like, so you mean to tell me? And one of the Ten Commandments says, "Thou shalt not kill." But y'all want me to kill people though? Am I gonna go to hell? Am I doing the wrong thing? That's what broke me in boot camp, thinking
Mm.
like that.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then
that can get deep
mm,
because well, not only that, back when I was in, I don't know if they still do, but they encouraged us to go to chapel, right?
mm,
Sunday,
mm,
and whatever it was. They didn't say, a certain religion or whatever. We have this option, whatever.
yeah,
We encourage you to go because it'll help you, become stronger, basically, to, whatever. And you realize, right, we didn't need encourage because we just want to get the fuck out of the barracks,
mm-hmm,
out of the squad bay,
mm-hmm,
away from these dudes yelling at us. So yeah, I mean, but I was brought up in a Christian home, Catholic actually, and so, but a lot of my teenage years were in a uh, kind of a non-denominational praise and worship kind of. It was still Catholic teaching, but they rented a high school gym. They didn't like the boring kind of quiet Catholic church, mass.
yeah,
So they started their own same belief system as far as Catholics believe, but praise and worship, speaking in tongues, getting slain in the spirit,
mm,
visions, dancing in the aisles, running up and down, all the whole thing, bro.
mm,
Like Yeah, the whole thing. So that's how I grew up. And then of course, going to the Marine Corps, like you said, I kind of had that, struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah, and
Uh,
if God made me in His image, then He knew I was gonna go to hell the whole time. So my
mm,
like what? Like hold
oh,
up.
dude, you and I could go. Oh,
Hey, I'm telling
you
you,
and
like
I
I
could
went
go
through
on.
so much as a I was reading Revelations at 11.
Yeah.
Like I went through so much. Like
Oh,
man,
that's
I'm ready to
crazy.
die. I'm ready to die right now. Like and it's not like I'm depressed for saying that. Like I lived a whole life. Like not even trying to brag or boast. Not even just on some military stuff. Like I've been
Yeah.
through so much. Like stress. Like I was never like a child. Like I always had like. Oh man, and this is where it's so hard to start and pinpoint it because like
Mm-hmm.
I'm still dealing with my own trauma. I'm still dealing with my own like inner trauma. And I know people say they still like everyone is. I get you. I feel that. I hear you when you say that. But like dog, like I'm still unraveling like Christmas presents from 1935 still, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
still, I just realized that this dude wasn't my uncle the whole time. Like I'm like,
Mm.
yo, like, like so and this is I'm gonna try to do this. My my mom's not a bad person. She has good intent, but she
Mm.
has bipolar something going on. I don't exactly know because I just don't exactly know. I don't know her like that. We have a I respect my mom even though she doesn't love I don't want to say not love me back. I don't want to say that. I'm gonna say does the best things for me. And with that being said, I looked at my mom as a role model growing up. Like, hey, this is my mom. I didn't really know my father, my biological father. Boohoo, Black American dad story on that one. But my mom was my everything. She still is,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom was my everything. So I had to be the man. I had to, whoop de but
Yeah.
my mom wasn't there for me neither. Any major milestone was never there. I didn't learn how to ride a bike or nothing,
Hmm.
from my mom,
Right.
it was through my adopted family. And I didn't know this was my adopted family at the time. So this is like, as you're still learning it, trying to confuse, this is how I was. So I'm like,
Mm.
it's going to be a full circle by the end of this conversation. I promise you. Like, it's going to be murky and it's going to be confusing. It's going to be a wild tangent, but it's going to all make sense
Mm.
eventually. I promise you. Like, but with that being said, like, I had this father figure. His name was Jason, and that was my dad. Hey, dad, and I had a little brother named Javion, and that was his son, but he was my little brother, and he was my dad. But my dad's sister was my sister, my older sister, and her two daughters were my sisters, and their mom was my mom, and their grandma was my grandma, and their uncle was my so it went on from there of how it went,
Mm.
but the immediate family was different because that's how I
Yeah.
emotionally connected to them, and it didn't click to me that these were my adopted family. So this is just my family at the time, right? So I know my real family. Don't get me wrong, I know I didn't grow up with them, and like I mean I saw them, met them, visited them here and there, yada yada yada, got it. But and this is where it's gonna make sense later on. But growing up, my mom was never really there, and I didn't really understand it. I knew we lived in a whole bunch of places, like big house over here, then we lived in that house over here, and then we lived in that house over here, and then we didn't live in as many places, and then we weren't really traveling as much, and then we were living in hotels, and then we were like sleeping in like parks and playgrounds and stuff, and then like I remember living back with waking up at my adopted family's house and then like me going to school and all that other stuff. It's like my childhood was very
Hmm.
interesting. Like I had to rely on
Mm-hmm.
myself a lot. Like, and it's not like I didn't know that this was dramatic by any means. I'm just like, hey, yo, mom, dad's just not around. You know, I gotta
Right.
eat. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta do what I gotta do. You know, um, and like I didn't go outside much, but when I did, you know, I talked to people. You know, people say, hey, you're intelligent for your age, yada 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 yada. But I didn't grasp what I was going through. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So about time I got to the military part of life of my chapter, because you know I could have went to college, sure, you know, but I didn't feel like that was something that I felt the calling. I heard something. I'm like, I got to do something. You know, if you join a service, anybody listening to this, you join a service, then you know this proverbial calling of which that I speak of. Like, it's not like you get a freaking phone call and someone's like, hey, yo, sign up. You know, hey, yo, you know,
No.
the call is something that you feel. It's that urge that kind of wakes you up in the middle of the night. It makes your palms sweaty, where you're over here wondering if you did the right thing or not, where you're like, can I give more of myself to something? Is there something that I'm not doing right now? What is that? That thing that makes you sit up on the edge of the bed and make you be like, did I not turn the stove off right now? Where you're wondering about something and you don't know what it is, and all of a sudden you're like, military makes sense. And you're like, I'ma do it. And then I'm like, okay, the Marine Corps. All right, what is that? My uncle did it. Okay, what is that? What is this? What is this about? Oh, yellow
Mm.
footprints. Okay, cool. They're gonna shave my head. All right, bet. Okay, cool. I mean, I had dreadlocks at the time. You know, I was like, oh my god, oh god, oh, they're gonna cut my hair off. I'm gonna be ugly. But all right, cool. Let's get it. Let's get it. And then I got on the yellow footprints, and I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm in it. I'm here. You know, I'm
Hell
I'm
yeah.
just like I'm like, yo, my life is about to change. You feel me? And
Mm.
I remember literally the man, I'm sweating thinking about all this right now, you know, like, cause high school, I could talk about high school, but my high school life was literally typical. Like, and I don't want to say typical and be like downplayed. I did some cool stuff in life, you know, in high school and whatnot. But to me, I don't really remember all of high school.
Yeah.
And I remember just going to class, and for story purposes, it was just typical high school. I didn't go out much. I didn't really go
Yeah.
to parties, you know. Why? Because not because I wasn't popular or nothing like that. I was taking care of my grandma.
Mm.
And it was my adopted grandma. I just didn't. I don't know. I just cared about my grandma every day. Like I don't know. It was a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Like even though I was upstairs doing my own thing, like it was just like my grandma. My grandma was like my best friend. So
Yeah.
I really rocked with my grandma. Um, but
How old were you when you found out that it was your adopted
adopted
family?
grandma.
Mm.
So, man, this is the craziest thing, dude. So okay, I gotta give him names so you can understand. So my real family's my blood family are the Hickmans, and that's like Elmer Hickman. He was a running back or something like that played for the Bears or the Dolphins, one or two for like a little
Oh
bit,
shit.
and then he realized he had like a heart condition, something like that. Anywho, so it's Elmer Hickman, and my grandfather is called Elmer Hickman too. You know, he's the first. And
Mm-hmm.
then my blood grandma is called Alice. You know, my mom is her name is Micah. That's my blood mom's name. Her name is Micah.
Mm.
And my adopted family is the Edwardses. So my grandma that I was rocking with is named Joanne. And her daughter, which was my mom, was named Jackie, and she had two sons, Ronnie, Jason, and she had a daughter named Brianna. And Ronnie met my mom when I was a kid, when I got bullied, and I beat up that kid. They met at some point in time in that timeline, and my mom went to jail one day, and he took me to Alton, Illinois, which is where his family was. So I got adopted pretty much at that time with that family.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ever called him dad. I just called him Uncle Ronnie, and I called his brother dad, and his name was Jason. So but growing up, I should have always called him dad, but I don't know why I didn't. He was just more like the uncle figure, but he's the
Yeah.
reason. how I got into the family. But um, yeah,
So
it's
you were
confusing.
probably like a what, 12, 13, 14 when you found out? Cuz that's confusing, right?
It
Like
it,
even
it, it is, and that's why it's hard to tell because like
right.
as confused as you were, this is how I was experiencing life. Like
Sure.
like this is how I was, and I didn't really connect to people like kids for real, people for real, or socialize well because I didn't really do much. Like like
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna fault that on myself. I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, sure, I went
Right.
outside and played, but not much. But so had to have been. I was in like middle school when I realized this because we had a
Okay.
house fire, and like throughout my time before then, my grandma, my real grandma, would say, "Hey, what are you doing today? Nothing. You want to go to Disney World? Sure, we'll go Thursday." And then like Tuesday come around, Wednesday come around, Thursday come around. Hey, there's an excuse, and then I'd be like kind of devastated because I'll be
Mm.
like, I'll get my hopes up and do that. My mom does that. That's why I'm trying to say she has good
Uh
intentions, but so.
yeah.
I always had those type of ups and downs and letdowns from people in my blood family life, and my adopted family kind of sort of, I don't want to say brainwashed me. I don't want to say it like that, but they kind of sort of
Yeah.
did for me to hate them. They're like, see, they don't
Uh
love you. If they loved you, they'll come pick you up. If they loved
gotcha.
you, so that's when the early levels of confliction started in my life, you know.
Sure.
So and then that progressed into the Marine Corps, and I was like 18, 19 when I went into the Marine Corps. Like I
Yeah.
graduated on like a Monday, dude, and I was like in boot camp like Tuesday night. Like I was in that, I was out.
Holy
Yeah, I
shit.
was out. And by that time, dude, like and I witnessed domestic violence because my mom was beaten from me on Christmas Eve. I don't believe in any holiday because
Mm.
of my family. Like I don't believe in Christmas and Thanksgiving, none of that. I was never around with any family. They never did anything with me. I was always
Oh
the redheaded
shit.
stepchild. So
Yeah.
like going into this, I'm really becoming a man. And when I tell you
Mhm.
that, I'm becoming a man. Like I didn't even know how to tie my own tie in high school. I had to find a when I did go to homecoming or a prom. I like went like I went with somebody before, but that was in like
Yeah.
senior year. But like anywho, beside the point. But every other thing I missed because I didn't know how to tie a tie. Like I found a guy at a gas station was like, "Hey, dude, can you tie my tie?" And he tied my tie, dude. Like and like I still had that tie like perfectly tied, like just
Yep.
loosened a little bit, so I can
Yep.
always just snug that thing
Just
right
get
back
over your
up.
head. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you feel me? Like
I
and I
did the
value
same
that.
thing.
Like yeah, you feel so you value that moment. You
I'm
feel me?
saying.
So growing up, I value friendship. I grew up, I value the little things. So like I'm a nice person. I'll give you a shirt off my back. You feel me? But like I'm gonna need that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so going into the Marine Corps, like I said, I grew up I was growing into a man. Like not, I don't want to
Yeah.
say maturity. No, I'm growing up in life. Like I really, I, I, the Marine Corps, the service was more than just a service for me. It was, it's who I am, and I don't want to say it like that. Like I'm just this brainwashed like spider monkey or something. Like,
Mm.
dude, the survival that you learn there, the level of camaraderie. I never had friends that would rock with me so hard.
Mhm.
Like that would rock with me so hard. You feel me?
Yep.
Like they got your back. Like even though know we don't like each other. Fuck that dude over there. You feel me?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
man, I was in bike clubs, man. Like man, I lived a life in the service. You feel me? But I also
Mhm.
lost a lot of friends and lost a lot of close people close to me. Not even just like service members. My mom died. Like
Mm.
my grandma and uncle just died. Like in a house fire on Christmas Eve. So another reason why I don't like Christmas. Like I
Oh,
lost a lot of stuff, dude. Like, and I'm not trying to
dude.
sit here and say it like I can tell you, man. Look, as positive as you hear about me and as positive as this energy that I give off, dude. Like it took a lot to get here, bro.
Sure.
Like I lost a lot to get here, dude. Like a lot to get here, my man's. Like I can tell you more about death than I can tell you about life, man. Like I'm learning myself, like dude. Like And airsoft, like man, before I found airsoft, man, I almost killed myself, legitimately, dude. And
Hmm.
and I think that's why airsoft is, I don't want to say my thing, but rocking with me universally. You feel me? Because you
Hmm.
said so
Yep.
many people I'm be overwhelmed when people tell me stuff. Like somebody from New Zealand, was C Colosbo from New Zealand. They were like, "Yo, we're your biggest fans." Like I'm like, "Yo, what?" Like, but I've been told I was ugly my whole life. You feel me? I wasn't gonna do stuff. You feel me? I was this, I was that. You feel me? I had to climb through the mud to get $100 to like you feel me? So I'm looking at these airsoft kids. I'm like, yo, you're younger than me, dude, and you out here with the drip, and you feel me? Like I'm like, how do I? What is this? What is that? What is that? What is this? And y'all looking at me like something? No, 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 no. You dope, bro. Like, and people think I be
Mm.
gaslighting. People are lying when I be saying, no, I think people are dope better than me. Like I got cheap stuff, dude. I just like you feel me? Like you feel
Yeah.
me? Like, and I'm like, I be seeing these kids, man. Look here, man, dude. Like my life was tragic. I'm just now at the point where I can say that because I understand it now.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm trying to like, I'm telling you, dude, it's onion layers to this, bro. Like, by the end of this
For
conversation,
sure.
you're gonna understand, dude. Like, man, like losing my mom, man, like was crazy for me, dude. Like, my mother is still alive, but my mom, my adopted mom, passed away, and I was
Gotcha.
like, I cried maybe legitimately 5 times my whole life, and that was one of them. Like,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even cry. I couldn't even cry, dog. Like I can't even look in your eye and tell you I cried, man, because that like I can't, because like I didn't, and like that's when I knew I was emotionally broken, like
Yeah.
by something, like something happened to me in my life, and I suppressed it, and like I knew then something happened to me, like like, cause like man, my mom was everything to me. You feel me? Man, dude, man, look here, dude.
I
Like
I
my
did the
mom,
same thing. My dad died. He was a tree fell on him in his driveway. 80-foot oak tree. So sudden, unexpected, and him and I were at odds at the time.
mm,
Just say that. And I was in my early 20s, well, mid 20s, I guess. I was out of the Marine Corps already, and we weren't getting along at the time. But when that happened, I was numb for at least 30 days. So I had my mom and my two sisters crying on my shoulder for the whole time, the whole thing, bro. I am stoic, straight faced. Everyone thought that I was just, uh, you know, just like no emotion at all. Like I wasn't feeling anything. It was, but I was 2 years out of the Corps or 5 years out of the Corps. So that you just learn you're bro, you need to be strong for this or that person or this person or this situation. So you can't. So anyway, it was probably it was a month and a half or so, and totally unexpected. Walked in the kitchen, saw a picture of me and my dad. I'm in my dress blues on graduation day at Paris Island in front of the statue with the Iwo Jima statue, and I went to grab the fridge, open it, and fucking floodgates open, bro.
mm,
And it was like an hour. I couldn't stop.
mm.
And I'm talking like little kid stuff.
Nah. Hey, first, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss, man. Like, I lost my mom in the service. Like, first off, her
Mm,
son Ronnie died in middle school, and we lived together. Like, everyone that passed away, I discovered, and it's kind of crazy. Ronnie, he was 34, something like that when he passed away. And like
mm,
we used to play this
damn.
game. We used to play this game on each other. He was like a bit like a heavier set guy, but he was wicked intelligent. But I didn't know this at the time. I just got it later on. But anywho, like we used to play this game on each other. So I was in middle school. I had to been like in sixth grade or something, seventh grade. And we used to play a game on each other. If I get home from school before him, I'll lock the door on him, make him knock. You know what I'm saying? Ha ha. If he's home before me, he'd do the same thing. We play that ha 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 ha. So one day I come home, I'm like, you know, door's locked. So I knock, hey, let me in. I'm thinking, hey man, hold up. I'm gonna get my Pokemon cards in a minute. As soon as my uncle opened the door, man, don't even worry about it. I got that Pikachu, man. Don't even worry about it. So I'm like, knocking. He doesn't answer. So I like go over to his window and I'm like, hey man, I peek in, I see him on like he's praying on his bed, kind of like this. I'm like, hey man, come on, let me in. And he doesn't answer. So I'm like, if you don't let me in, I'm gonna call mom. I'm counting to three. I'm calling mom. So I call mom, tell her, hey, yo, Uncle Ryan, he's praying, but he ain't let me in the door. She comes in. I go in, I tap on her shoulder. Hey, man, that ain't funny. You let me out there too long. So I go in my room, throw out my bag. He didn't say nothing to me. So I'm like, all right, whatever. He's praying. Because he's like this. So he's praying.
Mm.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm going to the kitchen. I got me something to drink. And as I'm drinking it, my mom's in the living room, which is his mom with, Jackie. So she's lighting up a cigarette and she's like, where Ronnie at? He back there praying. He still ain't talking to me. He ignoring me. She's like, what do you mean he ignoring you? Go tell him to come here. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go in there, I tap him. Hey, yo, mom wants you. He ain't moving. I realized that he was dead. And then,
Mm.
yeah. So, and then fast forward a few years, I joined the service. This is like 2014. I get a call from my sister, which is Brianna, which is Jackie's oldest daughter, only daughter. She says, "Hey, because mom's she got in the hospital because she had a stroke and a heart
Mm.
attack at the same time. So we're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
damn. So we drive over there. I mean, she tells me she's driving to the hospital, the Barnes Hospital, and I'm in North Carolina at the time. I'm on gate duty with the PMO. MPs and stuff, because I'm
No
TAD to
shit.
them for my unit. So I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
gate duty. So I get the call. I tell my commanding officer, he's like, "Oh, we got you on a Red Cross message, woo woo." So they fly me home. And I get there and I'm seeing my mom, which is Jackie, for like the first time in a while, because I don't really come home that often. You feel me? And she's like, this woman is the type of person that will call you 24 times a day just to tell you she loves you. My mom she worked for Alden Housing Authority, and she was the type of person who helped a lot of kids put clothes and supplies in their book bags and stuff, turkeys for holidays. Like she did a lot for the community. You feel me? So this was a very loving person. Like she taught me how to love. She taught me how to be a compassionate person. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And seeing her in this like vegetative state really fucked me up. Like I was in my uniform and stuff. Like I was like, shining, glistening. My buttons are all shining. I got a fresh fade. I'm ready to see my mom. You feel me? And
Yeah.
like she's like just a vegetable, dude. Like she can only like move her eyes.
Mm.
So during the transportation or during the time that she was switching from St. Anthony's or something like that, some Alton hospital to a St. Louis hospital, she had a heart attack and a stroke, but in the hospital she wound up having fungus in her blood. She wound up having massive kidney failure. So she was dying, dog. You feel me? Like she
Oh
was literally
shit.
dying, dude. But I didn't know that. You feel me? Like I didn't know it just no one told me it was that bad. You feel me? So like,
Mm-hmm.
when when I finally worked up the courage to go in the her room, dude, like she was like my mom had this. She was like one of those like Matlock lovers, like the old murder mystery lovers, like the CSI. Like she loved that. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, bet. She's one of those type of people. So when I finally worked up the courage to go in the room, um, I was talking to her. You feel me? And like I knew she couldn't talk, but like I was just talking to her, but somehow I knew she was talking to me in my head. You feel me? But
Mm.
I was like, I got married. Like she didn't know I got married or nothing. I got married at the time, so I'm really like catching up with my moms. You feel me? And like it was just like she was talking to me in my head. And I remember there was nothing on the TV, and I'm just like, hey, you want to watch TV? And I heard her in my head, and she was all like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I was just flipping through the channels, and Law and Order comes on. I hear her say, wait, stop. And like I look at her, and like she's like, I'm like, you wanna watch that? And she's like, yeah. She's like blinks at me and everything. So we sit there and we watch TV for a little bit, bro. Dude, my leave was like 10 days, Joe.
Mm.
And I saw my mom maybe like twice. And I was catching
Oh
up with family and stuff.
right.
Yo, I'm flying back to North Carolina at this point in time. I'm checking back in. I'm walking into my company office. My phone is like, my phone's just going off. I got stand up attention. I'm talking to and I couldn't answer my phone or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I finally answer it, and it's like 37 missed calls, like 100 text messages,
Mm.
and I answer it, and they tell me my mom died. G, like that fucked me up, you know.
Mm. Mm.
And then seeing her buried, like seeing her in the casket, like I didn't cry or nothing, but like you said, you just gotta be there, like bro, like that fucked me up. And then like while in the service, I'm dealing with like a divorce and also their extra stuff. Like it was just like a whole bunch of crazy stuff, man. And getting out of the service, which I got out 2016, I didn't know what I was gonna do, man. I was just
Yeah.
like a traveling gypsy for a little bit. I drove literally from like North Carolina all the way like to Colorado, like to the Grand Canyon, bro. And I had my dog at this time, and
Yeah.
like I broke up with my girlfriend and all this other extra stuff at the time, and like it was just me, my dog, and my motorcycle, bro. And like I literally like I had a truck, so it was like but anyway, I had everything I ever owned in this truck, and just my dog, and I just drove, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and like I came back home eventually, and like I became like a tattoo apprentice and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I went from shop to shop to shop trying to, I didn't. First off, I tried to work a normal job. I worked at Zaxby's. It was like my only fast food job, and I worked there for 2 weeks, and I hated it. So I was like, I left. I ordered one big ass. I left. I was like, this
You
is
didn't
I
like
can't.
making the
No,
salads?
no, no,
Salad?
no, no,
Give
no,
me a
no.
salad.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though, the Zax sauce is fire. It is actually pretty delicious.
It
I'm not gonna
is.
lie. It is.
Now,
It is.
what made you go to Colorado? You just you're like, hey, I'm heading out west. Get away
I
from
didn't
this
tell nobody.
place.
I just drove. I just
Yeah.
drove. I just filled up my tank one day. And I just drove. Like I did it. Like I'm just like, you know what? Like I already EAS'd. I was already done. Like there's none. I didn't know what. I literally was at that point. I didn't know. Like
Hmm.
you know what it. Like you know what I'm talking about. Like I
Yeah.
had a plan. I thought I had a plan. The plan worked out. And then I was like, you know what? What am I gonna do? And then my cousin called me, and he lived in central Missouri somewhere, and it was like a college town. So like I lived in there for a little bit, but then I went right, like literally 3 hours north, and went home, and reconnected with my family, my grandma, and all that stuff. It was my adopted grandma and whatnot.
Hmm.
And I mean, I already knew my blood family and all that jazz. We cool, woo woo woo. That was beside the point. I didn't live with them, so they're not like a factor in my like pivotal moment, changing lives or any of my milestones for real. I'm just being honest. That's what that is.
Yeah.
They weren't there. No, I didn't have any family there when I got married or nothing. It was just literally me, this girl, my hometown, and two friends that I knew. And that was it. you know,
Wow.
um, it was, and don't get me wrong. I was jealous of some people. I was like, oh, I want this extravagant wedding, and
You
I
want
was
the
like,
what?
the big extravagant wedding. I want all
Oh,
my
yeah,
friends
yeah.
there and all that. Then I'm like, what is the purpose of that? Y'all want me to go broke?
Bro,
Nah.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
But then when
Now,
I
what?
discovered
How did you meet, or where'd you meet that girl?
my hometown, like
Okay.
she,
When you're on leave.
no, 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 no. Before I even became a Marine, like
Mm.
before I even became a Marine, I was in high school and I met her. She went like on
Okay.
high school sweetheart. I went to Alden. She went to like a neighboring high school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I almost joined a gang. That's how drastic my life almost went.
I was gonna
Actually,
say, yeah. Did you have some
yeah,
kind of influence like that? Yeah.
yeah. I almost joined. It was in a sophomore year. I almost got initiated into the. I don't want to say it, but I almost got initiated into a gang. What made me I was like, hey, they're like, hey, yo, you getting jumped in? Like, if you for real about it, you getting jumped in next week. Oh, next week?
Mm.
Tight.
Damn.
Yeah, I was. See, but keep in mind, like I want to say I didn't do anything like gang related for real ever. Like it was my
Yeah.
homie. he went to jail. Like, he was one of them hard kids that went to juvie early, and he got out and he went to school. So he was like kind of like the tough like dude. So I was
Yeah,
like,
that
hey man,
rep.
you in the gang
Yeah.
now? He's like, yeah man, you want to get in? I'm like, get in? He's like, yeah man. I'm like, what y'all what you mean? And I didn't know about gang. I mean, I knew about gangs, but I didn't
Right.
know how they worked. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't
Right.
know hanging around him made me gang affiliated. Like I was like, oh, that's what they be meaning on crime shows. I'm gang affiliated. Okay, you know. And then I told my father figure about it at the time, and their rival gang. So then he would been like, I would have had to kill you.
Oh
But
my God. Oh, Jesus.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know if it was a scare tactic or not, but yeah. I was like,
Mm.
I didn't like, no, dad. I was like, hey yo, hey bro, nah, I can't hang out no more, cuz I can't even do it no more, man. I can't even do it. No, but how I really found airsoft, and was really after that transition of coming back home. I bumped into one of my friends, my little transitional period of like going from the garden to becoming a warrior, now becoming a warrior in a garden.
Mm.
Like slowly during that transitional period of getting my apron and my tools and understanding how to garden, I bumped
Yeah.
into my homie and he said, "Hey, yo, you wanna go airsoft?" And I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "You ever been paintballing before?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "For real?" It's kind of like that, but like smaller stuff. I'm like, "All right, let's go." And I went in like some sweatpants and whatnot, and I fucking loved it. But
Yeah.
I didn't get that you could do whatever. Like, I'm looking at like ha 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 Nerf ha 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 pew. Like, I'm holding a gun all stupid ha 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 ha, and then they're like, "No, dude, you could really like you got night vision goggles and all that stuff, like all that. Like, have you ever been in the military?" And I don't tell no one I was in the military. I tell even when I was in the military, I was telling girls I was like the manager of McDonald's and stuff.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
you told people you were in the service when you were in the service.
No, dude. When we were in, it was we before we go in, it is that's all we wanted. I can't wait to earn that title. Once you get in the fleet, the first, this is how you know, like this is a
But
boot.
you're Paris Island. I was West Coast. You didn't like. We gonna be
Oh, you're San
rivals,
Diego?
but
Okay.
yeah, I love you, but I don't love you. We had
Yep,
the
yep.
Reaper. You know, you
Yep.
know, yeah.
Exactly. So we so yeah, once you get in the fleet, bro. So after boot camp, after MCT, after your schooling, whatever, you get your first duty station,
Yeah.
and you get out there, and the first time you get leave, or not leave, but the first weekend or whatever you get time off, uh, you go out in town, man, you're wearing that black T-shirt with the Marine Corps emblem up here that you got from the PX, okay? And your buddies are going. Now the guys that have been in country, I was in Japan. The guys that have been in country for like 6 months, they look at you like, bro. They come up and smack you in the back of the head. Take that shit off. Go change right now. You're not going out in town with us like that. I'm like what? With that fucking shirt on. Go put a normal shirt on. I'm like, this is all I got, bro. I got that and my fucking green t-shirts that we run in.
Yeah.
What else? Put your green shirt on then. Like, goddamn.
So
So you learn real
you were in
quick.
Japan?
Yeah, for a year.
Oh man, you must have loved it over there, huh?
Bro, listen.
Listen, you
It
went to
was,
Banana Show, didn't you? We could talk. We could talk. I know
oh,
stuff. We could talk. I see
well,
you don't talk to people for real. I'm like, we gonna see. Let's go.
banana show, quarter show, donkey show,
Oh, the
fucking,
donkey
oh,
show.
dude. Uh, no shit. My first time out in town, big group of us, we're all newbies, okay? We're all fucking FNGs out there. We go to my couple guys were, in for like 3 months more than us or whatever that had been there already. They're like, hey, let's go to the Moonlight Club. We go out there. Oh, you can get it. You can pay for a blowjob. Don't even have to leave the table. I'm like, what? So we're in a booth. Fucking Skidmore. Of course, we call him Skidmark. He's from New York. He tells a buy me drinky girl, the waitress, and they're all topless. Okay,
Mm,
all the bars, that's
mm.
normal. They're topless. They're not. That's not even like a strip club. So they're all the buy me drinky girls are waitresses. He's like, hey, Mama San, you tell her, blowjob. She comes over, $15. Now this is 1990, 1991. Okay, uh, $15. I swear to God, she grabs a handful of napkins and crawls under the fucking table. He's sitting next to me, and my buddy Red is on the other side. And I go, whoa, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to touch your dick. What are you doing? And so, no shit, right there at the table.
What?
So
Yo.
she's
Go.
going for a minute, and he's just kicked back, and we're just talking around him. This is like normal. And I'm going, what the fuck? Here, I grew up Christian home. There's no internet. There's no fucking. We didn't know shit
Mm.
about that country or nothing. So this is culture shock at its finest. So I'm like, holy shit! Like all that shit's legal. Bunch of drugs illegal over there. Pornography's or prostitution's legal. All that shit. So all that shit's legal. So this is going on, and she's going, come in mouth, come in mouth. Okay. So she keeps going, and then all of a sudden, you hear her head hit the top of or underneath the table, and she comes scrambling out of there. He blows his load in her mouth, and she's freaking the fuck out. Mama San, who runs the bar, she's like 4'5",
They
okay,
don't
but
they
she'll
don't play by
kick your
Mama San
ass.
now.
Oh, hell no. So she kicked all of us out of the bar because Skidmore couldn't hold his fucking.
Hey, look, I tell you
Yeah.
what, dude. That's the thing. Like I saw so much wild stuff in the surf. Yo, my homie, I remember you talking about penis jokes. All right, well, penis references. Bet,
Hmm.
got you. Hand on the Bible, and I'm not even that religious. You feel me? Homie in my company circumcised himself with a box cutter. G.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Like I remember
Woo.
watching grunts get wasted and like throw their mattresses off the top bunks, like not the top bunks, but like the top floor, and like put their
Hmm.
little Budweiser hats on, bro, and try to jump off on them. Man, I saw man in my schoolhouse. Hold up, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell it. It's old. It's old. No one gonna know what I'm saying. No one gonna exactly know who I'm talking about. So it don't even
Hmm.
matter. Somebody in my company had a female in the schoolhouse. Like they had her in the coffin closet, dude. So every time like we have field day or something, they'll hide her in the coffin closet. You know the coffin rack, bro. You know.
Uh-huh.
Yo, she'll pop out when it's so good. They be I'm like, yo, like
Oh.
that's when I learned what a barracks bunny was. I was like, that's what a barracks bunny was.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, like she was getting pterodactyl, dude. Like she had to do $25 or $15 for this hand, $50 for this hand, $30 for the mouth. Like, yo,
Oh my god.
I didn't know women like that got down this. I knew what sluts were. I mean, pause. That's a derogatory term. I don't want to say that, but I knew what promiscuous women were. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
we not stupid. We grew up. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I
for sure.
didn't never saw women like that. You feel me? I was like, yo, what is Backpage? What is that? What is Craigslist? You feel me? Like y'all getting women off there? Y'all getting
Oh,
married off there? What's a marriage contract, a contract marriage. Yeah, a contract marriage. That's what that shit's called.
uh-huh.
A contract marriage. Yeah, that was that shit's called. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah. Yeah, them were crazy days, man. Oh my God.
Oh,
Yo.
dude. Yeah, we didn't even have that then, bro. In fact, we didn't even have mail order bride yet when, we had never heard of it
Really?
when I was in. Yeah. So when I got out, like mid 90s,
Uh-huh.
that's when we started hearing
Oh, that's
about,
when like the internet popped off, huh?
right. Yeah.
Y'all probably saw
So
wild stuff though. Y'all probably saw that type of merit stuff. Yeah, didn't y'all come up with Jody? Or was Jody around when you were
yeah,
here?
Jody, bro. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
boot
I
camp.
figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Jody's fucking your girlfriend.
did Jay get that pink eye in boot camp too? And the people was putting no, y'all didn't have Germex back then, so y'all couldn't have been doing that. But
No.
did y'all get pink eye that bad back then?
We got pink eye when we were at MCT at Geiger.
Y'all
And
got it at
camp.
Geiger?
Yeah, bro.
We got it in boot camp. I
No, we
saw
didn't get
people's
it in boot
eyes getting
camp.
like green shut. Like I was like, yo.
We got it in. We got pink eye. Our platoon got it in MCT, and they quarantined a whole fucking lot of us, bro.
They
Separated us.
quarantine y'all?
Yeah, we had to separate. We couldn't be around each other. Fucking, and we're in the fucking woods. Where the hell are you
Right,
washing your hands? We didn't have hand sanitizer.
right.
We had nobody had hand sanitizer. You know what we had in our MREs? We had the fucking wet nap. Okay, we had a wet nap. That's what we had.
Y'all was
So
wet napping your eyes?
no, yeah. I mean, that's what we. Yeah. Well, they had corn in there, so they would
Uh,
put those drops in.
uh-huh.
So it cleared up in like 3 days. Once everybody stayed away from each other, because it's super
Nah,
contagious. It's super
nah.
contagious.
Boot camp, it was
Hmm.
wild, dude. I looked like people had green slut, like bro. And the thing was in boot camp, dude, like it was like a myth, like a rumor, like Bigfoot or something. If you get recruit crud, man, like
Is that what they called it?
yeah, put like Germex in your eye, and it goes like right away. I heard kids like in third phase do it, and like they do that like to stay awake. I'm like, what? You're putting Germex in your eye? Shut the fuck up. And then when I saw it, like it was crazy looking watching. Like it was like green, like snot was coming. Like it was like bro. And I'm like, this is boot camp? Oh my god. And then the feared peanut butter shot. I know. Did y'all have a peanut butter shot?
I don't think so.
What? Well, I guess
Is that the
bacteria
one
was.
that goes in your ass cheek
Yes.
that hurts really bad? Okay.
Yes.
Now we got that in boot camp.
Like man, I see, and that's the difference between us because back then it was a totally different warfare and all totally different. Like we get
Yeah.
like at least 27 different shots before Black Friday.
We got 10, maybe 7. I don't know how many things were mixed in it, but we got
Mm-hmm.
the guns, right? You
Mm-hmm.
walk down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk in, in boot camp, you're first going through, they check how you're walking, they check, all the medical shit. And then you walk through, gun on each side. Psh, psh. You walk the next one, they put a little like round, circle on your ass cheek, like the target. So there's literally a station where we stepped forward and we have our drawers down, okay? And there's a lady that dips a round, it looked like a fucking, kid's play toy, like a little medicine cup upside down into an ink tray, sticks it on your ass. That's the target. You go to the next station. That's where they jam the needle in, and psh, and that was the last shot we got there. Then I didn't get any more shots until the week before we went to Okinawa.
Mm.
So going to Japan, we got malaria shot. We got 3 different whatevers, and our whole platoon was sick as fuck. We wanted to go out and party. That night we got the shots, but we couldn't. Nobody could leave their
Y'all
bed.
fucked up, yeah.
Fucking coming out of both ends, and just felt like we were about to die. So, oh yeah,
Yeah. I didn't experience none of the sicknesses for real. Actually, I did get bacteria on my feet, and I
yeah.
did have a stress fracture across my femur in second phase. Like that healed in a week. That was crazy. Like I almost want to believe like, were y'all lying to me? Like, there ain't no way. They had me on crutches and everything. I felt like, I don't know. Boot camp was a very weird place, man. Like, boot camp was a very weird place. Like, oh my god. Like, I'm sure you felt like you were gonna die in boot camp, yeah.
I felt great. I
You
loved
felt
boot camp.
you didn't feel great in boot camp, man.
I loved boot camp, bro.
I thought I was gonna die in boot. I didn't love boot camp until like I love certain aspects of it. I hated
Yeah.
other aspects of it. How about that? Like
Well,
I
for sure.
I thought the PTing was never gonna stop. I did.
Yeah.
That was bad. The hiking was horrible.
At the time when all that shit's going on, when when they take you out to the sand pit, when you're getting punished for
Whatever.
whatever,
Yeah.
okay, which is like every 30 seconds. We're taking out the sand pit. You kneel down. We took our blouses off in the squad bay, leave them in there. We'll go out, boots and utes, fucking no, just our t-shirts. Kneel down in formation in the sand pit. Now make it rain. And you're scooping handfuls of sand and throwing up as high as you can. Higher. Make it rain. Higher.
Oh,
Higher.
hey.
Bro, covers off, okay? No cover, no blouse. Guess where all that sand goes? In your
Ringworm.
fucking pee hole, okay?
Oh, what? It's in your dicks?
Bro,
Stop.
it's in every crevice in your body. We're doing this for like 10 minutes. And then jump up, do burpees, make it rain. I mean, we're fucking covered. Guess where we go? Back in the squad bay. Get your blast back on. Now we're going to do fucking inspection on your shit. You hold up your damn foot locker, okay? Guess where all that sand goes? All over the goddamn squad bay. So now we spend the rest of the evening
Cleaning it.
cleaning the fucking squad bay again with the
You get
scuzz
scuzz
brush.
Oh.
The duck walk, okay?
Oh,
Oh, dude.
Scuzz brush, aye, sir. Yo, that's the stuff I didn't think would last forever. Like boot camp wasn't bad. Like it wasn't.
So
like,
I hated that for sure.
I hated the skivvy, like the tighty whities. That was I pissed on myself in boot camp. I ain't gonna lie. like I was the guy for a little bit, and it was like towards the end of boot camp. I wasn't the guy like the whole time. What happened to the original guy? I think he broke his arm or his hand or something. Like he broke his hand or something. And like I remember doing it and learning all that stuff. I can't remember why. But anywho, and they make
Yeah, I
you
was fourth squad leader.
I was platoon 3242.
I was platoon 1004.
Wow. Now you were a Bravo then.
That was 1st Battalion. That's about all I can remember. 1st Battalion, well, obviously 1004. Yeah.
Well, usually they had a certain, because I remember it later on. It'll come to me. Because I remember that's how I learned about the Ghost Company, Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Ghost Company. You never heard about the Ghost Company?
Huh.
Maybe. What? Ooh, see, it's probably before your time, and you were at Paris Island. So the myth was somebody who went to boot camp recently probably heard about the Ghost Company. I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
Apparently, a drill instructor at some point in time drowned his people.
Oh, we heard that
like
story too. I forgot that it was called the Ghost Company. You're talking about at Paris Island. He marched him through the marsh, through the
And
swamp, and they fucking drowned.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's real.
Who knows? I honestly don't know. I heard the same fucking story, bro, and I went in '89.
Yeah, because like that's Ghost Company. Because there's every other one, Alpha Bravo Charlie, and there's one company that you never hear about that just comes around like once in a blue moon. I think it's Quebec Company. I think that's what that is. Like I swear to you. Like, cause watch, go look it up. You are way more educated Marine than I am. Like, look that up. But that was boot camp for me. Next question. What's up? we warming it up now. We're getting there.
Oh, we're warming up, bro. So what? So you get out. You get out of boot camp. You go to MCT.
Yep.
Now, how did you do in MCT? Did you stir up some shit? You come in there with a chip on your shoulder. You're like, fuck you bitches. I'm a goddamn jarhead now.
Well, no, I kind of came in there kind of pissed off a little bit because they switched up me and my another dude. So I did a little bit of ITB and then had to do another little bit the rest of MCT with another company because first off I had fucked up teeth going in and I was in BCP. I was a BMP Marine, Basic Marine Platoon or something like that. So I went back home on leave, came back, had to go to MCRD again, get some teeth pulled, do some oral surgery, heal up, and then I joined a hotel company in MCT eventually. Like I went through that. That was cool. That's when I got exposed to like the it's a PX for real. I was like, oh, this is where real Marines get stuff. Like, you get gloves for your hands. Oh, this is cool. Like, and then like I had a very rocky relationship back home with this girl, and like I broke up with her like right before a big hike. Cause I was really nervous about this hike, like, and this whole life of Marine Corps. Like, oh my God, I'm about to go to war. I'm gonna die. Holy shit! Like, you know what I'm saying? You realize that you're
Hmm.
in something bigger than yourself, and I didn't know what. Like, I didn't understand it, and like I couldn't deal with another person at the time. And I don't want to say
Right.
it like that because I did care for this person. I really did. I really did love this person, but like I just couldn't deal with myself enough to deal with another person. You feel me? I didn't
Hmm.
understand myself, you know?
Hmm.
So going through MCT was kind of hard. Like I didn't write family. I didn't really talk to family. I was kind of learning what friends were and really understanding myself and really digging deep, dude. Like I used to do stuff at night when people used to go to bed. I used to work out at night even after hikes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. Like being in the field made me feel alive. Like in the field made me feel alive. Like
Hmm.
it was just dope. Like the hikes was crazy. We did that's when I learned what recon was. Like
Gotcha.
was in MCT because you're at Camp Horno and you have the in MCT they broken down. I don't know what you have. I don't know what they were called back then, but I know it was the microwave, the mother of the Reaper, and the ankle breaker. I think that was the three phase hills hikes
Mm.
that you went on. I think it was like a
Okay.
3K, a 5K, and a 10K. And like when I experienced recon was on their microwave, and that was where they did their Trail of Tears section, where they do all like the hostage and they're getting gas the whole time. So
Hmm.
like if you get, it's called the microwave because they use so much gas that it's resonating in the air, like it'll fuck you up like after that. So we
Gotcha.
do it in the morning, and so by the time you're on that, bro, like you know how you see heat and then like
Uh-huh.
summertime like you're just seeing it, like and you're like, oh, and your skin starts burning
Oh
and like you're like
shit.
really hot. Like it was, bro, it was something that was something that was, and then like they did the whole you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, now carry him.
Oh shit.
So that was great. I think MCT was like my pivotal moment of if I'm going to break out or tap out or not. Like, because the craziest thing in boot camp, I didn't talk about this, was we had, I want to say this is a generic last name, I know, but I think his name was Johnson, legitimately. Because in boot camp, we had this kid, and like, he wasn't a problem child, but he wasn't the best athletically neither. You feel
Hmm.
me? And like, he got something happened in his family. We knew it as something happened in his family after he got a letter, because it was a point in time where we're getting letters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember Recruit Go got some dust in his letter, and the drill instructor was making fun of him. He's like, "What is this cookie dust? What is it?" And he kind of like started almost pouring it out. We're gonna punch your cookie dust, and he was shaking and crying, and it was a letter, and it was his father's ashes. So, and I remember during that time, he was in the back, kind of reading his letter, and we knew something happened at home, but we didn't know what. And one day we woke up and he was missing, and it was like this big ordeal, and it was during
Hmm.
the first initial PFT time. And so we did our PFT, and I remember it was kind of like a biggest deal. It was like the biggest buzz on the base, like for the recruiting. Like
Sure.
we didn't know the Marine side existed for real. We just knew this was recruit base, so we thought everyone here were recruits. So we're
Right.
all like kind of ear hustling with each other, and we
Whoever was on
hear.
Firewatch got fucking
Oh, it was
decked.
so crazy because
Bro.
I remember my sergeant. His name was Sergeant Grebino. Like, he was our kill hat. He was this big dude. He had like imagine the cell phone with like a stick body and like big hands and big feet. And when he would yell at you, his lips would turn purple. Like he was a very like animated. Like, he was a very like it was crazy. But
Oh
anyway,
my god.
so he was a duty, whatever fuck, right? But he get in trouble. I remember him had to go talk to the chief drill instructor, and he was crying. Like, and I remember like seeing him cry. We're like, yo, he's crying. Like, yo, it was you know how recruit is. Like, the
Yep.
smallest thing is like the biggest deal. We're like, oh shit,
Right.
he smiled. Oh, he must like you. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. So
Yep.
like, we saw him crying, and he was like, kind of hiding it underneath his bear cover, or whatever. But he was talking to Chief. But anyway, beside the point, like we learned that his mom got murdered. Like she got chopped into pieces and put in a sewer, and he wanted to go home, but they couldn't allow him to go home. So a homie snuck off base during fire watch, made it to the Marine side of MCRD, walked off the base, and then was walking on the interstate. They found him a few days later walking in camis on the interstate.
Damn.
No cap. Like no cap. Like
That's
and
wild.
during second the end, the middle-ish end of second phase, we saw him again in the chow hall, and we couldn't say anything about it because we got briefed that we would bump into him, but not to speak to him. And
Mm.
so, and if we did, we'd get in trouble because I was Lima company, and he got bumped down to Micro Bravo company, but he still got allowed to graduate. And it was the craziest
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Low key, I started looking at boot camp like it was escape. I'm like, so hold up. So y'all low key want me to escape? Because how did he escape? I,
Uh-huh.
so in my head, that's when I started really picking up on the Marine Corps training, like the day nav, night nav. In my head, I'm like, this is real life. This is the Hunger Games.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit. Oh, like I really was like, I had like, when you were a kid and you realize what your dick is. You feel me? Like
Right.
I don't want to cuss and say that, but like that's the best way I can explain it. Sorry for anybody listening. I don't mean to cuss. I'm sorry. But like if you're a dude and you discover yourself, if I think if you're a woman, you discover yourself. Whatever the point, you discover yourself, and like I had my second discovery. I was like, oh snap. You feel me? Like, and then I was like, that helicopter can really kill you from like a mile away, dog. Like, did you know that? Like, I bet you don't even know that. He's like, yo, I got this girl on Tinder though. You wanna go hang out? I'm like, nah, I wanna go run right now. Like,
Right.
I got brainwashed into
Oh
the system in
shit.
MCT, dude. That was crazy.
Well,
MCT,
if you were in second phase at boot camp, you were at Edson Range. That's where you qualified. That was your shooting range in boot camp.
we didn't even get to look out the windows, dog. So I don't know. I just know this was Camp Pendleton. Like, and I knew
Yeah.
Camp Pendleton was so big it had its own area code. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That's what, like, it was, like, I don't know what your boot camp was like, but, like, our boot camp was so, like, well, at least our company was, I don't know what everything else company was like. I
No,
only
it's the
know what mine
same.
was like. It was
You
very,
don't know
like, keep your head
shit,
down,
bro.
keep
Yep.
your head down, so I
Yep.
don't know where the fuck we were at. It was like at least a
Yeah.
5-hour bus ride. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah. You guys come up because that was my last duty station. I
Really?
worked with the recruits. Yeah,
Word?
up
What was that
there.
like?
It was pretty cool. I mean, we worked with really. We saw the recruits. We didn't interact with them mostly.
Oh, word?
I worked helped with the range coaches on the range. And they're snapping in and shit like that. But we hung out with the all the drill instructors. So this is like their free time because once they get them on the range and they're all fucking good, they leave one DI up there and the rest is range coaches,
Oh,
right?
this is some behind the scenes stuff right here. What's
Oh
up?
yeah.
What's up?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
what?
So then the drill instructors come out and hang with us.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it
You
was
were them people that would look cool. We're like, all right, I'm gonna compare this for all the anime lovers out there, like Naruto, right? So you're like one of the shinobi, like one of the dudes that was out there. We're like, oh man, that's Kakashi. Oh, dope. Like we get to look like that eventually. Like, oh, all right, cool. You know, you know,
oh yeah.
I remember being on the range and seeing like other Marines, like officers, and they had like chin protectors and like had little helmet pads. And I'm like, yo, what is this? I thought we get that. Oh wow. Oh, I'm in. Bro, this. I still got my camis like right here, man. Like it's like yo, like that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So what was Japan like for you?
Oh, Japan was fun, man. Yeah, it was fun and fucking crazy, bro. Because we were downtime, so we had uh, a lot of training, right? But our battalion commander was a Vietnam vet, colonel,
Mm.
full bird, and he was hard fucking core, bro.
He saw them tunnel
Big
rats.
scar on his fucking face. He looked like a fire plug. He looked like a fucking like a fullback. Okay, so when we first saw him, and this is our first duty station, so we're coming out of boot camp, MCT, all these fucking long ass runs. Okay, 16-mile humps, with a full pack and shit. So we get here and we see this dude and we're like, yes, he's not going to be able to run us very far at all on battalion runs. Yeah,
He's a
fuck
gazelle.
you, dude, bro.
Gazelle.
And Okinawa is just no flat spot, no flat spot. So it is. He's trying to make you fall out. So you know how Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you're supposed to do the 3 mile runs every. That's your PT every. 3 days a week, whatever. So it is Fridays where our battalion runs. This dude ran our dicks in the dirt, bro. But it was good for us. It was hardcore. He was hard charging. It was fun, but it was very intense. A lot of gung ho, get out there and get it kind of guys that we worked with, and we got in trouble a lot. We filled sandbags probably 3 or 4 Saturdays. Like, bro, you fuck up. This is what you're doing every Saturday morning. You and your buddies filling sandbags. So you'd stack up 100 sandbags with your e-tool, okay? And then you go in, knock on the hatch. Gunny, he comes out, looks over there. He's got a big fucking cigar. Yep, now dump him out. And he walks back in. Like, bro.
Dang, you don't want to go home. You don't want to go home, Gunny? All right. Like, I looked at, I served under Sergeant Major Barrett. And this dude was a hard charging guy. Like, if I remember, he was a scout sniper, or he did something like that. He did special forces. That's when I started understanding what first sergeants are, how you get to be anywho, beside the point. But he was a hard charging person, and his motto was, "It pays to be a winner." And like, he would promote people for not falling out of PT.
Yeah.
Like, that's how hard some PT runs was. I was like, yo. Like, I remember one of the softest Lance Corp. I thought this dude had no spine at all. Got promoted to corporal for not falling out. I'm like, man, you lucky. My leg was hurting that day. I did an endurance course the day before. You got lucky. You feel me? And then like, he became like the barracks manager, and then like he became like this little man. Look, I looked at the service like the Wild Wild West. So when I saw people like that, I didn't want to be like that, but I started understanding life. Like I said, I started becoming a man in the service, and I'm not saying maturity. I started seeing life. Like, I realized I was by myself. Like, I'm by myself. Like, I'm in foreign territory. Like learning another language, like in another country. Like, that's what the Marine Corps was like for me. I'm like, yo. Like, I know people say that, but like, this is how, like, I felt inside of that. Like, I was like, I'm understanding, I'm inside of something. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then like, when I saw people like the individuals that you're seeing, I'm like, yo, you saw something like you saw some stuff, bro. You feel me? And I'm like, what did you see that made you feel so on edge that you gotta be like this all the time? No, you feel me? And then when I started seeing people with like missing fingers and stuff, I'm like, I mean, I saw that before. Like, I saw people get shot, and I saw like gunshot wounds, but like, I never saw like disfigurations and stuff like that. And I'm like, that could happen to me. Like, you could get shot, and there could be no one around, and I gotta save you. I had a little brother and stuff like that before. I know how to like take care of people, but I gotta save you. You gotta save me. Dang, like, like it was so. I mean, I know people say, "Duh, that's military, duh," but I don't think you grasp that concept, dude. That's a deeper.
That's
like,
heavy.
That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I saw killers before. You feel me? I saw cold individuals that would shoot you just for having a different color shoes on at the different time of the night types. I know I seen people. You feel me? Like I know killers. You feel me? But
Mm-hmm.
then when I met killers, like assassin, like dude, look, man, look, you know who I'm talking about, like your lieutenant, your colonels, like the sergeant majors out there, the Sergeant Major Castle. You feel me? Like meeting him was crazy. Like what? Like what? Like what? Like you got shot 7 times and you killed 27 people still with a pistol
Mm.
after after getting your finger blown off and this whoop de whoop de woo. What?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like people can't imagine fighting a person longer than 10 minutes. That's a fist fight. Like
Right.
you are in a gunfight. Like that's a long time, dude. Like if people that lived in the hood know what it's like, bro. Sure, you get a little desensitized to some gunshots, a little bit, just a
Right.
little bit. But at a certain point in time, you still gonna go, oh, whoop, and you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But like this dude, like that was crazy. And then to understand that me and you, like we would have to go through maybe possibly something similar to that at some point in time. Wild.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'll say my Marine Corps experience during MCT up to the fleet was illuminating.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Oh yeah.
illuminating.
You definitely learn a lot about yourself, and whatever you're coming out of. Like different backgrounds, whatever kind of family situation, whatever we're trying to prove to
Hmm.
ourselves. A lot of that when you get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, some of that is you question a little bit like, what is my motivation here?
Right.
And sometimes it changes because the purpose of why I went in the first place. Uh, After I start, when you get pushed like that to your limits, physically, emotionally, it is. You start to realize, like you said, you're growing up, right? You're growing up, and there's different levels of maturity or different parts to maturity. So you can be
Right.
mature in one way, because, bro, we were lock, stock, fucking ready to go, like just epitome of getting our shit together with being a Marine and all that kind of stuff. Um, with the training, with the uniforms, like just being ready to go. And then once we get out in town, or once we get off a base, or once we get off, away from that, we're fucking 15 years old again. But we're allowed to drink, and
Hmm.
we know all this shit now. So, and our testosterone levels like fucking here because it's intense lifestyle. So we're drinking and fighting and fucking. Like, that's
Like
it.
I didn't really drink them. I don't even I never got a DUI. Like
Me neither.
I don't when I got to the fleet and all that, dude, um that's when I started losing friends, I guess you can say.
Mm,
Like and really started understanding. I lost friends back home first, and then I started seeing suicides for the first time.
okay.
Like I, you hear about suicides, you know, you watch some movies, but experiencing it was crazy. And like I said, like as a kid, I didn't really go out much, so like I related to people, and I still to this day like give people analogies to help them understand my feelings or life situations by connecting to a movie or a song. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like experiencing some it was just weird seeing people die. Like it was just weird, and then
Yeah.
realizing how close you were to it. Like, but how dope life was at the same time was like, oh crap. It was just a very weird ebb and flow feeling of being in the service.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like and then it went from being, oh great, this is dope to being like this chore to then being like I'm ready for an escape to then being like to feeling so much pressure of it. There was so much
Mm,
pressure from the service,
right. Oh
and
yeah.
and it took me a while to see it, while all these kids get young marriages and go through all this, and I feel like we go through so much pressure. Like we're
Yeah.
scared, like we see so much death that we get a family super young and super early because we want to leave behind something before we die. We
Hmm.
want to feel connected to something. We want to feel all this now because we don't feel subconsciously that we're going to get the chance to do it later. So like I lived a full life in the service, like during
Yeah.
that time, even more than I am now. I was traveling a lot, I was meeting people a lot. I was going here, doing that. You know, I didn't really get, I never had a birthday I mean, I had having friends openly celebrate your birthday instead of like, that one relative or something was completely different. Feeling celebrated or being celebrated was a different feeling. I always felt like I was tolerated everywhere I went. So like having
Hmm.
people have my back felt great. So like I learned what real friendship was and camaraderie was in the service. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Getting out though, puh, puh, like that
Dude,
was
I was we like we I don't know if it's still like that, but when you're in, I did 4 years, and coming up to the time and getting out is kind of nerve wracking. Like you're almost like, I've been dependent on this system for so long. It feels like a long time because you're around it so much. So it's not like a regular 9 to 5, like even if you have something like that, where there's periods of time like that, then there's training, then there's you're going to go TAD with this unit over here, and like there's a constant shifting and moving. You don't get settled. We didn't, and I wasn't even in like a super, a big unit or nothing as far as going anywhere. It was just, there was always something going on, and so you don't really get settled, but you rely on your platoon, your company, and you get used to this lifestyle. Even though I started hating it, we started
yeah.
hating it. Like we're in like FTS was the fucking saying, fuck the suck. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Embrace that. Yeah, embrace it.
embrace it, bro. The
Yeah.
green weenie, bro.
Oh,
Okay.
you see, y'all calling it that back then too? All right,
Oh,
cool.
green weenie, green
All
weenie. You just got fucked with. Somebody goes down, they come back with they get their orders got fucked up. Okay, they're whatever it is, and they come back like, what happened? Oh, they just bent me over and fucked me. The green weenie got me with crunchy peanut butter, bro. Okay, not even Vaseline. Like,
not
no.
do.
So, yeah, that was, so we start hating it, but you're so, this is all you
Entrenched in
know.
it.
This
Yeah,
is all you know. And
yeah,
there's a thing about, you're so connected because of all the training and all the getting, you're the mud and blood and sweat and whatever happens. Okay, like
yeah,
this you're all in it together.
yeah,
So when whatever
yeah, yeah,
happens,
yeah. Yeah, I
it
feel
is
you.
just, yeah. So it was very hard to get out. Um,
It was hard for me because, like we said, the drinking. Like I had to
yeah.
to fall asleep because I got nightmares really bad. Like
Mm,
it was hard for me to fall asleep, so I had to drink to fall asleep, and I don't like drinking any like till this day anymore. But like it was bad, you know.
yeah.
Like you I was learning myself even more so then, so I didn't really know how to express, my trauma. And then I was still catching up on my old trauma at the same time of dealing with new trauma,
Yeah.
And then like being in the Marine Corps and being a black man was kind of like a double-edged sword of toxicity because
Mm,
like in the black community you're told, hey yo, be a man, suck it up. In life you're told, hey yo, be a man, suck it up. And then in the Marine Corps you're looked at as weak if you go ask for help. So
yeah,
then
for
it's like,
sure.
I missed my friends, pushed me to the edge. All my friends are dead, but what do I do? Then if you go talk to a shrink, then you're looked at as weaker,
Yeah.
and then
Oh
that
yeah.
paper, that documentation would follow you. So then it was really
Yep.
hard to even talk about anything. So like I developed poor habits. Like I used to like fight people and stuff like that, and it was just
Yeah.
retarded. Like, I mean, it was just dumb. I don't want to say, I don't want to say that word, but like, it was just dumb. And like, I remember I never got in a bar. Well, I got in some bar fights, but that seemed like typical Marine stuff. But like,
Sure.
I was really learning myself, and like what slowly but surely led me to airsoft with my homie. But when I got out and I didn't know what to do, and I obviously had some odd jobs here and there, but I started. I stopped becoming a piercer. They had a change in management, so I stopped doing all that. And I didn't know what I wanted to do again. So I was like, I'm at this point. I got an apartment. I had a girlfriend at this time. I had a dog. I had a cat. I don't know what to do. I don't want to work a traditional job. Here I am with like long hair, face tattoos, and piercings. I'm not taking these out for anybody. So what am I going to do? Let me start a podcast. I could talk to people. I was really good at talking to people. I got really good social skills. I could do that. So then I turned into a podcast, and then like I got a GoPro one day, and then I started interviewing people, and then I bumped into my homie who took me airsofting, and then I played the first game, and I bumped into this guy named Scott. He's like this field guru person guy, and he was like, "Yo, I saw you in here jumping through windows, man. You got a GoPro? You should be recording that." I'm like, "Yeah, I got a GoPro." Like, "All right, man, you should start recording." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I started, and then here I am. Like, and then people do it for content, but like the reason why I started my podcast, or reason why I think I started it through the universe telling me it, is I think I don't want to say it like this. This is gonna sound morbid, but I'm gonna keep it G real. And I told people some people this in my life, and they're like, "You're speaking about bad juju's or whatever." I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm gonna die soon. I don't feel as if I'm gonna live a long life.
Yep.
So I feel as if all these connections, this YouTube thing is me just documenting my life, and I feel like see how you met these people, and then like some of the people you met through me, and you saw me posting woo woo woo. I feel like I'm a person that bridges gaps. You feel me?
Yep.
I feel like I'm a person that helps my people grow
Yep.
and uplift, and I'm just a backseat person. You feel me? Like people say I'm a good airsofter. I don't even think so. And then like when you think of the sport of airsoft, I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. Like 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 past the point. I'm a competitive person. Don't get me wrong. I like a competition, but like people
Sure.
take it so seriously, and they take it so seriously. Like if like they will fight you. Like what? Like they will fight you, but they won't fight you outside of airsoft though.
Right.
Like these people won't have that energy outside of airsoft though. And then you got to think the other, like, what is this? I'm spending $300 $400 a weekend or a month on shooting plastic. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the sport. I'm just trying to understand. Like, if you understand what we're doing here, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's no different than you having a basketball, I having a basketball, and we go play at the basketball court.
Yeah.
You don't really fight over that, do you? You either win or you
Mm-hmm.
lose. And then you like I don't know. Like I didn't come into the sport to be a great player. I just came to the sport just to documentate my life. And this is just me documenting what I'm doing. And if I'm going to documentate what I'm doing, why not improve on my documentation skills while I'm doing it? You
Sure.
know, like people want sponsorships, but sponsorships are only 10%. And then how often do
Mm-hmm.
you shop on that website realistically?
Right.
So then you promote a company that you don't even really know anything about, or that even aligns with your morals. So technically, you're selling yourself for a sponsorship just to make yourself look cool, for a company that you don't even shop with or affiliate yourself with, just so you look cool in front of
Mm-hmm.
your friends. That's kind of confusing to me. If that's your goal, like you got into a sport just to do that, that's crazy.
It's so crazy, dude.
I mean, am I lying? Am I lying, bro?
Not at all. Not at all.
Like, so then I'm like, what is this? Like, hold up, pause. So I'm a keep it G real. I'm just gonna keep it. This is how I'm seeing it. So like, you have Milsim West. Well, technically you have Milsim, Speedsoft, Open Play, Big Games. Open Play is kind of like the Wild Wild West, in my opinion. Like that's when you have a lot of confusion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
these big games are bigger open play games. Great, it's cool. I love them. I love every aspect of airsoft, but it's just like, you know. Speed soft is great. That's where the real drip is. That's where the real competition is. To be honest with you, that's where you really see if you're
Hmm.
good or not. Peaking, kick and scroll, all that. That's real speed. That's real skill. I'm not saying Milsim's no skill, but here's the difference. Milsim is an event every other month, maybe depending on the company that you align yourself with.
Right.
you know, and you're spending upwards to $1,000 to $1,500 to $3,000 in event.
Yeah.
That's including travel, BBs, airsoft, pyro, and all that, right?
Hmm.
Hotel and lodging. Um, who has time for that? And if you really
Right.
think about it, that's where the real clicks are. And then like you're just shooting BBs for effect at that point in time. Like bro, I don't have $500 to waste. And then that's where the real cocky boy attitudes, frat boy type stuff is. And I'm like, yo, y'all argue over petty stuff, man. Like, I'm not saying people don't argue over petty stuff, but you know what I'm talking about. People in the know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not talking out my butt, man. Like, and it's not like I don't like this, like, either one. It's just like, where do I align myself? Like, where do I fit
Yeah.
in? Like, not even like fit in. Like, where can I just go and have fun and just do my thing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like people look at to me like a leader, dude. Like, I'm not saying I don't like it. This is gonna sound so cliche or whatever, whatever. But like, dude, I was really ugly ducking my whole life. You feel me?
Yeah.
So hearing this words of affirmation makes me feel like Gara from like Naruto, man. Like I'm like, "Ugh." You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
It
I don't,
should. Yeah. You should feel good. You're
I
you're
don't know, I
doing
don't know.
something good, so you should feel good.
I'm learning that. You feel me? Like I'm
Yeah, dude.
learning to really. I'm still learning myself, and I feel like it's so late in the game to be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I gotta understand like it's not my fault, but it is my fault. But it's not my fault that my childhood was robbed from me. Like,
No.
but at the same time, I'm learning it's just the cards that I was dealt, bro. You feel me? And I
Yeah,
understand
but the
that.
good here's the good thing is you're not putting everything on hold to try to go figure this whole thing out. You're balancing or spinning all these plates or whatever you want to call it. You're handling all these different things
One,
while you're still
yes.
moving forward. You're still making progress with yourself. All the everything that goes on up here, you know, that's a lot sometimes. So,
Tell me about
yeah,
it. Tell me. You learn.
uh-huh,
You're in
yeah,
chapter 5 right now, bro. We haven't even got to 20 yet. You feel me? Like, yo, you feel me? So like, yo, I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to like, yo, I'm doing all this. Like, I came into the sport just to have fun, just to woo. Now I'm doing all this, dude. You feel me? Like,
hmm,
I started this hosting airsoft events. Like, I technically started this journey of hosting anything was literally the protest that I did. And then like
mm,
I wound up bumping into some people, knowing some people through some people, and wound up interviewing some people on my podcast who was hosting a music festival. And then while I'm hosting that music festival, I mean, they were hosting a music festival. They asked me to be the MC, which made me bump into the Dancing Bear Tribe, which I became really good friends with them. Shout out Landon May and all them. And then they asked me to host their festival, so I wound up hosting their festival, meeting a whole bunch of artists. Like it was like the first time, like I was jumping on, hey, whoop de whoop de. So when you're seeing that, that's like people like you're genuine. I'm like, bro, I'm literally figuring it out at the same time. Like I'm literally
yeah,
on the spot with all this, and like my whole life is on the spot. So then I'm just figuring a lot of stuff out, and then I feel like I'm also playing myself out of some key moments by being naive enough, not knowing what I'm doing. But I feel like, yo, I gotta do it. I gotta do this because I don't have any help. Like, and that's why I started doing. I do all my flyers by myself. I do all my advertising by myself, my promoting by myself, my networking, my booking, my calendar, and all that by myself. Because not like because I'm this macho guy and I want to do it. Because like
right,
I know if I can't rely on you, I have to do it on my own. I can't
sure,
trust you to do it, to get it done in appropriate time or anything like that, because no one was ever there for me to do it. So I only know myself to do it, and I don't have money to do all this, so I have to
right,
figure out how to do it on my own. And then
absolutely,
somehow I'm just better than everyone else doing it. I don't understand why I'm better than you doing it. Maybe I just have more heart or energy. I don't know. Like I didn't
hmm,
get this love from like my black friends and anything. Like not just like now, but in life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like so being good at something is like this is very humbling, exciting, dope, and scary at the same time. Um, because I don't want to say I've never been good at anything in my life, but like
well, you don't have to be great. All you got to be is passionate. Okay.
I'm passionate about everything. I'm passionate about
I
your life.
know.
I'm passionate about how someone else is feeling because I know what it's like I know what it feels like to have no one there. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I know what it's like to have something good going on in your day and you want to tell your mom, your dad, your uncle about it and them not care or them not be there or them not even answer you. Like
Yeah.
like sure I had adopted family and all that and whatnot. They were there. They were just physically there, but they weren't there for me. I felt like most
Hmm.
people saw through me, and then like if something was ever wrong, I was either lying about something, or like I was being a crybaby about it. So I didn't even talk about my feelings. So probably what led into this person I am today, and why I'm like so self-reliant.
Sure.
But like I've been pushed to so many near-death experiences. I'm sure people have, you know, but
Yeah.
it made me into if I'm a die to my uncle said something to me before he passed away, but he used to say something to me, when I used to go to bed at night every now and again. But I never really understood it. But anywho, he used to say, Ruby, like, hmm, if today was your last day, would you be proud of what you've done so far? And I'm like, I don't know. All right. Well, you better start getting yourself real square. And like one day I was in a field and I was just in my fighting hole and I was just thinking about that. And I was like, yo, dang, you feel me? So
It's
like,
heavy,
so
bro.
like, so every day I live it like it's my last because I
Yeah.
know I saw people die. I know people can be taken away from me. I lost a lot of personal people close to me. So I'm just gonna live how the way it is. Like, and people think I'm good. I'm just going off instinct. You feel me? Like everything we learned in the service was not for a mistake. And it took me to understand a long time to understand that. Like these are just stories to people. Like what we went through is just a story. Sometimes I don't even know if it's real or not. Like I don't even like I'm
Hmm.
like, did I go to boot camp? Did I do that? Am I like people like thank you for your service? I don't even know what to say back. Like I'm like, thank you, but that sounds so like selfish, you know? Like you feel me? Like that sounds so awkward. Thank you, you're welcome. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I want to say something nice back. Like I go out my way for people because no one went out of my way for me. So like seeing someone smile, like you're handsome, bro. And everyone smile. That
Thank
feels
you.
good. I made you smile. That makes you feel good. Now I feel good about my day. You feel me? I write shit to myself. I write stuff to myself on Facebook and on my social media and whatnot. Sure, people find it motivating, but it's also for me because I know a year
Ah.
from now I'm gonna look at that status and hopefully a year from now I'll be further ahead or a little bit better or a little bit different from how I felt then. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
so crazy
absolutely.
people take for granted their lives every day. You feel me? Like see,
I
see,
I write my shit in here, bro.
see. I started a journal. I
Yeah.
started a journal, and then someone read it, and then I was like, I will never write a journal ever again. So like,
Hmm.
I freestyle. So like that's where I vent. That's where I really tap
Ah.
in because like I said, I was a shelter kid. So like
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of music and watched a
Sure.
lot of movies. So like I feel like I can understand lyrics. Like I can hear someone's words and be like, nah, you ain't for real.
Yeah.
Say it like you mean it. I can really feel that. So like as I was losing friends, this is gonna sound so cliche, bro. I already know you're gonna be like, bro. As I was losing friends, like I was losing my favorite artists like XXXTentacion and like a lot of my music relatives that was close to me. You feel me? And it was just weird. And I really started hanging on to lyrics and listen to that. So like when I was ever going through something, I'll just turn on certain songs and stuff like that. And
Sure.
I remember I was going through a emotional, a, a corny emotional moment. I was, Twilight, right? Of
Yeah.
course. All right, tight. I was in the story, I had a Bella, and I was her Jacob, but I really thought I was her Edward. You feel me? Like
Ah.
so, exact. Now you understood that very well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
See. And if I didn't go through what I went through as a childhood, I would never be able to do that. And then I started understanding what the suffering artist is all about. And I'm like, so if I never went through that, I would never been able to do this. Oh wow,
Hmm.
that's kind of sucks. Life is wild.
Isn't it?
You feel me? Like when I
Bro,
start,
listen, man, this is a classic. I mean, it's classic story. Not, everyone's got their own individual story, but
yeah,
as far as the general rule is, uh, stronger people come from harsh backgrounds. That's I mean, you got to fight your way through things
You have to.
to learn about yourself. I'm going to tell you one of the saddest things. I'm 52. Okay, one of the saddest things I see is people my age and older, a little bit older, like around my age, right? Even maybe a little bit younger, but still considered older. I mean, is these people that have not uh experienced any real difficulty in
Yeah,
life.
no adversity at all.
They're so shallow, and I can't stand shallow, bro. Like, be passionate about something. I read this book a long time ago. One of his business books has said, one of the guy said, I can never trust a man without a limp. Okay, and he meant emotional limp. All right, like somebody that has not been through some shit, you can't trust them because you don't know if they're gonna crack under pressure. Like, you can't rely on somebody. They can't be a pillar in your life.
It can be.
Pillars are strong, bro. They ain't moving. Okay, that's and you got to have people you surround yourself with people that are fucking pillars. The iron sharpens iron thing. Okay, that's what I got in the Marine Corps. Now, that's while we're in training. That's while we're at work. That's while we're doing what we do. But
Hmm.
outside of that, we're blowing off steam. We're having fun. We're immature as fuck. But just going by our carnal, ambitions or whatever. But that this is that's what we had. Anything you go through that makes you stronger on the inside, you got to have that to become, or these harsh backgrounds. You got to have that, these tough backgrounds, to find out who you are. And the people that don't do that, like that, it's really sad to me to see these people that are close to that have lived most of their life and haven't got to that point yet. Like, they don't even know themselves. They don't even know themselves, bro. Like, at all.
You know what they say, man. What's the saying? What's the saying? What's the saying? If you quit now, you'll quit forever. Every time it gets hard. A lot of people have done
Hmm.
that. A lot of
Yeah.
people, especially, and that's what I understood about the 1% that joined the service. You feel me? And then connecting that to airsoft, I'm like, yo, the ones that really get upset or really offended, I'm like, you never went through any real adversity before, do
Right.
you? Because when you really think about airsoft, really think about we are trained killers. We're not even gonna fake it. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. That is what it is. You
Hmm.
know. We can shoot a target at 500 yards out, iron
Yep.
sights.
Yep.
I promise you, you cannot track the BB all the way 100. I promise you, bro. You
Right.
know, like, and then you got the kids that are like, I got 30 kills, and I'm like, that's great. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for
Yep.
you. And they're like, you're not happy enough. I'm like,
What?
damn, what? Okay, bro. Like, then you got the kids that buy 500, like they got the drum mags and what. I'm like, yo, y'all just never been through enough, dude. Like, yo, take all that away. Y'all got too much. Take all that away. Strip that away.
Yep.
Use one mag and see how
Yep.
well you do. Test yourself. Actually shoot that target. Look at it. Say, I'm gonna shoot in the head. Pull the trigger. Do you shoot in the head? Oh, I'll let the stomach. Try to aim up. Try to actually improve your accuracy. Shooting for volume doesn't make you a good player, person, or like
Nope.
shooter, in my opinion. Like, cause
No.
this is this is it. Safety and
Yeah.
everything.
Spraying
This is
and
it.
praying is fucking that's low skill level, bro.
But my question to you, I got a question.
Yeah, dude.
How did you even bump into me, and what made you want me to get on your platform, if you don't mind me asking?
All right. Let's see here. God, bro? It's been a while. I cannot remember who told me about you the first time. Oh,
Cause like after you messaged me, dude, I literally went and watched like a whole bunch of. I'm like, yo, is he a player? Cause I'm like, I looked at your Instagram. I'm like, okay, he interviewed. I'm like, yo, I went on your YouTube. I'm like, yo, he got almost like 20,000 subs. I'm like, all right, this is a podcast, you know? Because I started in podcasting. I'm like, I don't really see many airsoft podcasts, you know?
Right.
So I was interviewing rappers, like
I saw
documented
that,
gang
dude.
rappers, Jai Kitchen. If you go to Google right now and look up Jai Kitchen, JAI space KTCHNZ. She's the first female kitchen crip that'll pop up. She's a documented person. I'm like, yo, I'm like, oh snap. So I'm like, I gotta, I'm interviewing OnlyFans models
Right.
and whatnot. So then like when I transitioned to the airsoft community, I'm like, oh, this is different. Oh, there's no one over here but me. Then I'm like, oh no, there's Behind the BB. And I'm like, oh, TriFecta wants me to be on their podcast? What's TriFecta about? Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, TriFecta. Okay, all right. All right. I can get on this. I'm like, he's a pretty chill guy. Pretty knowledgeable, vocabulary's on point. Oh, yes, actually quite. He's not like trying to slander nobody or nothing. He seems pretty cute. Lance has been on here. Spoon's been on here. Hell yeah, Airsoft's been on here. Mr. OT's been on here. Tonka's been on here. Mr. Kicking Mustang's been on here. What? He wants root beer? Oh, hold up. Excuse me, sir. Let me do this thing real quick, and then we can probably let me. I feel confident in. I got you,
Yeah,
then.
dude.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I was so glad. I was so glad when you told me that because I know who it was. It was Lance.
Lance, yeah, I love
Because
Lance.
yeah, so when I first did that, I talked to Brim, I talked to Lance, and they told me about you. And I remember it was the day after I talked to Lance. I was at work, and I looked up your website,
Mm-hmm.
and I found your podcast, and I found all your YouTube channel and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, bro, he's got a shit ton going on. And then your podcast, I watched a couple of them, and man, it's great. It's great because
Thank you.
it's genuine, it's personal. It's like, you guys, it was really cool to watch. So anyway, so I was like, bro, this guy, and I started following your Instagram, and I'm going, this guy's all over the place, man. Like he is,
Yeah.
and I mean literally, like location wise, you're going here, you're going there, you're hanging out with these people, you're doing an event over here, and you're promoting all this stuff. Like you're a great promoter.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, for real. Like
Thank
you
you.
do well. You do very well at the short reels, all the stuff on Instagram where you put information out there, where you're going to be, what you're doing, what events coming up, all that kind of stuff. You're on top of that stuff, So anyway, that's who told me about you and how I found you. And then, I think it was that same day when I found your website, after I talked to Lance, that I messaged you the first time.
Oh
And,
man.
yeah, it's a while ago. That's a while ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know it took that long. I'm sorry.
no, dude, not
I
at
really
all.
wanted to
Not at
gather
all.
myself. I really understood how I understood marketing and all that was like watching commercials. Like, okay, so like Joe Rogan, right? Why is he popular? What is he doing that I'm not doing? And this is when I was a
Yeah.
podcaster, right? And I like a podcast like No Jumper and whatnot. And I was watching No Jumper way before it popped off. Like
Mm,
when he was interviewing XX and Tentacion when he was alive, when he was interviewing Flucy Tube and all them back in the day, when he just had that black table. And I was just like,
mm,
okay, podcasts are kind of boring.
yeah.
I didn't really get it. And then I really started watching and digesting it. And I was like, okay, so you really want to have depth, and it's gonna kind of be like that, or whatever.
Right.
And then what makes Kicking Mustang or Dutch or whatever cool or like popular, right? What is
Right.
their like? Not like I want to copy their algorithm and what they're doing, but what are they doing that I'm not doing? I don't want to see that they're doing this type of video and then copy that. I want to make it my own. So I want to be
Right.
informative. I want to have my own energy, and I want to get clear to the point. Hey, welcome up. Like my podcast. I'm like, I gotta have a slogan. I gotta have an intro every time. I gotta hit it every time. What can I say every time? Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, welcome to Goldie's room. Okay, all right, welcome to Goldie's room, where the music is, where music is hot and the vibes are chill. All right, let's all together. Hey, welcome to Cody's room. I'm Ruby. That guy's including your baby daddy, and this is Cody's room where the music is hot and the vibes are chill. Bam. And I was like, all right, bet. So then I was like, all right, what can I wanted to have something concise. Like I gave myself my own nickname, code name Ruby, I named my own stuff. You feel me? Not because like I want to be cool or nothing, because like I want my own stuff. I'm tired of hand-me-downs. I'm tired of asking for handouts.
Mm,
I'm tired of saying, hey mom, can you help me with this? None, I don't want to need nobody's help. No one was there, so I'm gonna keep doing my own thing. I'm like, I don't want to be say myself self-made, because I was raised by a village and I got knowledge by knowing people like you and having experiences throughout life. This what helped me create this person. It's not just one person did this. It's throughout life and my experiences, and I'm fully
right.
aware and knowing that. So like going into creating who I am, I saw the greats, like Kicking Mustang's a ghillie sniper, Dutch the
Yep.
Hooligan's this guy that's just like this assault guy. All right, cool. Like, all right, I see what they're doing. All right, this is their own thing. So like, in creating my team, I wanted my this is my team, but like y'all can do your own thing. But just know like people see us as the Power Rangers, bro. So like you're Red Ranger, sure you live over there in Wisconsin, but you're Red Ranger. You're Red Ranger of the Power Rangers, bro. So just remember that when that red phone rings, you come a calling. You know what I'm saying? And that's what helped me see that people want sponsorships, but they don't even know why they want sponsorships. Like people want likes, but you don't even know why you want likes, but you want likes.
Yeah.
Like till you can tell yourself, like sit there, take a deep breath. Why do I want to play airsoft?
Mm,
All right, cool. Why do I want views? Why am I making a YouTube channel? Am I
mm-hmm.
improving? What am I doing differently to improve myself that I haven't done yesterday? You know, like for luckily for us, we were Marines. We were trained in this like for years. Like you have to literally catch up. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to. I don't care if you played this sport for 16, 20 years. I will be better than you. Not like I'm not saying it in a cocky sense, but you know what I
Right.
mean when I say that. These are toy guns,
Exactly.
bro. Like
Yeah.
these, like
Yeah.
if you don't know, sure, people want to say, do it translate well? Airsoft is a great training tool if you have the knowledge.
Right.
Like, other than that, it's fun for you because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been exposed to the real intensity or even close to the pressure of being,
Exactly.
of even combat related training stress. You know what I'm saying? So this is
Mm-hmm.
all one big game slash simulation for you at the end of the day. Um,
That's why I think it's funny. You ever hear these people talk about like, oh man, we played this game, and yeah, these Marine veterans or Army vets, whatever, they come up and they're all like, acting like they're gonna kick our ass. Oh, we beat them, and I'm like, bro, that's
and
because they don't fucking care.
and
Okay.
and then, and then it is a mindset that you have to get into to separate from real to air. So it is a fluid thing. Like
You
you,
could be better at tactics on the airsoft field, like somebody that's not been in the military. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. You played airsoft for 15 years. You played at the same field. You played at the same mil sim every year at the same place. You know where to go. You know what to do. You know it's a game, and you know you can sacrifice this because
Mm-hmm.
it's like playing Call of Duty. So you rush in. You have three guys rush in. They get killed because you know they're just going to sit
Mm-hmm.
there until you come up and tap them on the arm 10 times or whatever the fuck, okay? That ain't real life, okay? So throw all that shit out the window and run up that fucking hill with 80 pounds on your back, drag your buddy behind you
See,
with real bullets shooting over
but
your head,
they get
and then
experience.
tell me.
They get that from Milson West. That's the only time that you get exposed to that, and even then,
Mm-hmm.
that's not really. I watched videos. I saw some. I got into it with Jeff Warren a whole bunch of times. I get it. You hate me or whatever, whatever. I'm still gonna have my opinion. I don't even care. Um,
I don't even know who that is.
he's the Josh. I don't want to. He's the owner of Milson West. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
He's
okay,
well, one
okay.
of them or one of the founding people.
I got you.
And I bumped into him or I got into it with that gentleman because of I said something on a forum and I was like Milson West review. And like it was literally me watching Milson West videos on YouTube and me just watching. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of like, because they get so how they simulate, I think, a helicopter. They get in the back of a U-Haul truck at nighttime. They like drive around, they hop out and all that jazz. And then like they have live fire. All that sounds cool, have live fire and all that jazz. But
Yeah.
then when you realize that no one cares about who wins or loses, and then y'all do a bunch of, it's cool to do some cool stuff like, night ops and all that. I love it. I
Right.
get it. But you got to pay. It's an exclusive event, mind you. If you
Right.
walk off the field, you don't get your money back. You're kicked off the event.
Yep.
It's an expensive ticket, and you got to pay for BBs, all that stuff we went over, and then night vision goggles, rentals, and all that jazz. I'm like, yo, that's a lot for just that. He said for how just 2 days? Yeah, nah. That's like a once a 5 year thing for me. Like,
Uh-huh.
and because like people, you're either just you love airsoft for what it is, or you're like this military fake, almost borderline act of fake valor type person. Like I ran into more fake military people than I've ever seen in real life before in the airsoft community, and
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
and I'm like, why do you gotta? It's not even like anything cool to be the service, bro.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
it's not even that cool. Like military grade is actually trash, dude. Like it's
Bro,
actually trash.
you know
Like
what bothers me is when people find out, people I've never met, when they find out, like I meet them on the job site or I meet them somewhere, or whatever, a party, or somebody comes over here that's new, and they find out I was in the Marines, they immediately try, like they have to tell me why they didn't go in the military, or
thank you. Thank you.
I'm
So
like,
thank you.
bro,
Oh my God. And you're like, I
I'm
didn't even
like,
ask you that.
no, first off, I don't mind. I'm not going to say I don't care because it sounds like I really don't give a shit about you. I'm saying it doesn't bother. I'm going to respect you for who you are and your character, whether you were in the military or not. You don't have to prove yourself to me just because I spent 4 years in the Corps.
See, see, and
Like, bro.
I get to that by extra steps. Like, so when I was in the service, I looked like it, a little bit, a lot of it, jawhead shit, jawhead stuff. But as I was transitioning out, obviously you didn't look it, and then I don't look it now, right? So then people assume that I didn't know I have celebrity energy. That's really weird for people to tell me that. I just think that's really weird.
Yeah.
And they look at me like a black dude, right? Like I gotta be something. Like I got a lot of energy. I'm very passionate. So you gotta be like a rapper or something. I'm like, no. And then like I start speaking, and they're like, you sound white. I'm like, thanks. I guess that's a fancy way of saying I sound intelligent. I don't know. That's weird. And they're like, what did you do in life? I don't know. Went to high school. Went to the Marine Corps for a little bit. Oh, you was in the Marines? I almost went to the Marines. But I'm like,
Here we go.
yeah, yeah. Here we go.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
got cancer. I'm like, I don't care about your foot clearance. Like I didn't ask about that.
Well, well, it's that need to fit in. I mean, if we said, if I didn't go in the Corps, but I went and played football
Bro,
for,
to me, to black people, that's almost like saying I'm like the least racist person you know. Like
yeah,
that like it's weird to say it. It's just weird to say
people
it.
actually say that shit.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird.
Dude, yeah, I'm not racist. I got black friends, or like my sister. I
Oh,
dated a black
Jesus
guy before.
Christ.
I'm like, look, just because you dated a black guy before this, I give you okay to say that word.
And first off, just
I,
because
I'm sure someone in the
we're
comments
talking,
watching this right now is gonna say, "I've been there," laughing right now. I know I'm not the only one. Let this
yeah,
man know I ain't making it up.
no, it's fine. I know it happens. I know it happens. It's just, I've never looked at it that way, so I don't really know.
And that's another perspective because there's not even black people in airsoft for real. We're just now getting into it. And then like you gotta think, y'all were culturally programmed for airsoft. Y'all already was exposed to hunting. Like we don't get exposed to hunting unless we're down south or we know somebody for real, for real.
Yeah,
Like we
the
don't get
South,
exposed to
yeah,
that. We get exposed to guns through gun violence. Like I know if I
yeah,
lose
urban.
if I lose in this fight, I gotta shoot you. I know that.
Hmm.
Airsoft, no. Like, and I tell some of the people who I know. If my cousin watches this, if I share this to him, he can attest to this. We used to have BB gun wars.
Yeah,
No, 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 no,
no,
no.
I did
We used
too.
to have like the metal BBs.
Yeah,
Like,
the .177.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yes. And
Daisy.
we didn't even wear
Yeah,
goggles or nothing. And I'm
no, we
like,
didn't wear shit,
what?
bro.
I thought that was like airsoft. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm like, cause why
yeah.
else would they sell these to kids? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. All right, cool. We
Oh,
shoot each other with
we
these.
used the Daisy 1 pumps, and then we got the Crossman 10 pumps.
That's what I
Oh
had.
yeah,
The little cross. I was like pop, 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 pop.
yeah,
Damn.
dude. I still
And,
got I was fucking 12. I still got a fucking chunk out of my knuckle right here from getting shot with it. I shot my buddy right between the eyes. I thought I put his eye out,
shot my
and we
best
still
friend.
kept playing. We didn't fucking know. We didn't fucking know.
Ex- exactly. Like, and
Oh
that's my
yeah.
point. So then coming into the airsoft world, they look at black people. Look, it's an
Hang
you're
on.
like, oh, black people play the sport.
What, you cut out for a second? Hold on. What now?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's like, when you see black people, you're like, oh, black people play. Like, oh, what's up, man? Like, it's an extra, what's up, what's up? You know what I'm saying? More than like, hey, what's up, Chad? Like, and then when you see us do something cool, you're like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't play this sport for real. You know what I'm saying? So you either gonna see the hood kids play it and they play it like some hood kids, or you get the ones like me that are in the military that play it. But it's never a in between type of person. You feel me? It's a very
Yeah,
rare to get an in between person. You either a cop, or you want to be a cop, or you about to go into the military. That's it.
yeah.
And like people
Oh,
have
that's funny.
attitudes for real in this sport. Like it's kind of toxic. Like it's like double toxic masculinity in airsoft for some odd reason.
Really?
Yeah, you don't notice that?
No, I honestly, dude, I haven't been to. I've only been to one mill sim so far. I'm going to my second one,
I
in
think
two
mil- I
days.
think I think some people take milsim too seriously. It's
Well, I
fun.
mean,
Don't
I'm
get me
going as
wrong.
press pass. I went the last one's a press,
Oh, that's
but
what you posted. Yeah, you get to
yeah,
see it
yeah.
from a different angle. You get to see it from the outside looking in.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the beauty of my position or where I'm at right now. I don't want to say it like that. I can play the sport and host events, so I see it from different angles. So I'm like, yo,
Yeah, but
airsoft
see,
is.
you're in it. You're in it. You're like everyone I've talked with. You guys play it. You're there on these weekends. You've played all the indoor games. With all the different age ranges, right? Mill sims typically, especially the longer like 2-3 days ones, whatever. They're because they're so expensive, a bigger commitment. And age requirement, whatever, you're not going to have, a bunch of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds out there. So you get a different perspective from like you're on the field with everybody, right? All you guys are that I'm talking with, you guys have all these different, you see what goes on way more than I do. So when the first time I learned about somebody like airsoft drama kind of shit,
Mhm.
uh, now obviously I've seen the cheater videos or whatever, online,
I don't
whatever.
even understand cheater videos. Like if they're toxic, then why do you people promote them? Then that must mean it's like a car accident then. And then like I got caught a cheater before, and like in any video that you see, it's never like any video that's like I like first off, I don't even know what calling hits is, and that's because hold up, pause for anyone like losing their shit. Each field is different. You don't have to yell your hit. You just I'm acknowledging you. I'm waving and I'm walking
Yeah,
back. That's calling your hit. I don't have to yell hit. You know what I'm saying?
no,
If you see me do that, I'm walking
they're
back,
probably
right?
not going to hear you anyway. Christ.
But you see me because you're shooting at me, so you
Right.
must see my hand waving. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's always been my thing. But when you see people fighting, that's different. I'm like, y'all are fighting. Like you really like you see it. You see grown men fighting kids. I'm like, yo, like and I can only express that or explain that or look at that like you can't deal with all that adrenaline for real, and that's where the point of airsoft is. You're taking it too seriously. That's where you have to be fluid. Like you can
Yeah.
take it like it's tactically seriously, but there's still a toy aspect to this, bro. Like the
Sure.
BB's gonna go wherever it wants to go. There's a you don't even understand that there's a counter wind, bro. There's 7 winds in 100 feet, bro. Like there's 2 different winds you got to deal with, bro. And then they can hit
Hmm.
a branch at any point in that part and go flew, and you
Yep.
still think it's going straight. So you gonna punch that kid for that? Crazy. And you don't
Yeah,
got no
that's
cameras or nothing
dumb.
to prove that you hit the kid? Crazy.
Well, that's the thing with that's the one. I think that's where the probably the biggest downfall of
Oh,
airsoft is the not call your hit thing. That is where that's where the cheating thing comes in. That's where the fights come in. That's where the overshooting comes in. So it seems
why?
like
My thing is, and these are games where you don't even win anything. There's no money on the
no,
line
there's
at
nothing.
all.
Well,
And
not only not no money, there's no fucking cred. There's no street cred. What the fuck? Like you go even mill sims. Okay, like you said, the top of the the hardest mill sim you could go to, Mill Sim West. You sign up. Let's say even if your team, and I've talked about this on past ones, because I want there to be a competition set up for mill sim teams. So a mill sim team, let's say they've got 15 people on a team. They've been training together. They're running and gunning every weekend. On Saturday mornings, they're fucking working out together and running as a team, practice, practice, practice for 3 months. They go to Milsim West, right? They get stuck on a team with 200 people on each team. At the end of the event, you go, hey, how was the event? Oh, it was good. Who won? Tan won. Well, how did your team do that has been training, like military training, calisthenics, running drills, doing all this shit for fucking 3 months leading up to it? How'd you guys do? Well, we did good. Well, how do you fucking know? Like at the top of the thing, there's no way to know how well you did. And everyone's just like, okay, that was cool. We're done. Bye. So there's not even street cred. You can't go to your next event and go, yeah, man, this last Mill Sim, we fucking
Because
did
you know
this.
where you get that at? Speed soft. And you
Right.
wonder why? Because the competition is different. Like you just can't do it like that. And then on top of that, you're gonna have what a team of 100 versus a team of 100. Who you gonna get a trophy to? Who's gonna get the money to? You can't give $150 to everybody. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And then they do the whole passing out. They make up for that by throwing stuff out. But I'm like, I would give out exclusive stuff. That's what I would do. Now give out your average stuff. I would give out the exclusive stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make people come back. And that's why I don't want to say it, but I'm making collectibles. That's all I'm gonna say. That's where I'm building my stuff towards. Like,
Hell yeah.
because like I see that's my energy. Like you said, you got I promote a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and I want to see my homies grow. So if they're growing, I want you to give you. I see it all the time. When Black people die, we get our flowers after we die, not during it. You feel me? And I want to really bring that to the airsoft community. People say, yeah, we're promoting, but you technically only promote your homies. Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, my homies ain't learning from you. I think I show a lot of my homies the way, and I'm helping my homies grow, and I'm helping my homies mature and do better in their lives, even after I go away. You feel me? Because I want, even you, man, I want you to grow as better as a person somehow, some way
Yeah.
after me, not be the same person during me or me take from you. I want to give to you. You feel me? I want to give
Gotcha.
to you. And I learned
Yep.
that through the Marine Corps because you're supposed to pass down knowledge. And that's why a lot of our rank structure is broken down. A lot of our chain of command is fucked up messed up. Sorry, is messed up because some selfish people have a McMac belt or a McMac tab and they don't want to pass it down because they feel too selfish or they don't want to do the extra work. I'm like, but you're supposed to. You're supposed to teach your younger ones. That's how it's supposed to go. Your uncle is supposed to teach your nephew and yada yada. So and so and so. That's how it's supposed to go. So sure, the world doesn't want to do it, but maybe I'll do it. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Maybe that's what my energy is. I'm starting to understand myself as a player,
Mm-hmm.
and then knowing what airsoft is and how I'm supposed to be fluid and better the sport of airsoft in some way. Maybe me doing these tournaments a kid would say, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur one day and I want to, you know, not conform to society and do something else and follow my dreams, whatever that is. That's why I say I don't care if you have an OnlyFans, rap, or whatever, because I know rappers and OnlyFans models or whatever. I want to see everyone grow. You feel me?
Yeah. Of course. Like do your thing, man. Do your thing.
You're doing your
And
thing, man. Like you got hundreds of people on your podcast. Like I got a couple people on my podcast. Like, and I'm looking, and I want to say it like this, but I'm looking at you and me, and not comparing it, but kind of sort of comparing it. But
sure.
like when I started off podcasting, I don't feel like the universe was rocking with me. I felt as
Mm.
if I had to fight the current harder than fighting. I had to fight double the adversity for nothing. You feel me? And
Yeah.
then when I started airsofting, it was natural. I started connecting to people because it was almost maybe I had a topic to talk about, and that's why I'm like I think I love airsoft because like I always been like a tactical person. Like I love hide and go seek, I love Call of Duty, all the other extra stuff. So I'm like, man, like it would be great. I don't like paintball because that's not real. You don't get immersed in it as much. Like so being able to use your military knowledge and your skills and stuff, like your just levels of the seat, using the ghillie suit, like
Yeah.
it's great. And my ghillie suit is crap. compared to most ghillie suits, but like it works. And I'm like, I know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know how to use it. We know,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? We know how to hide the body,
Exactly.
you know? So like, I think that's why I love airsoft and why I stepped into the sport. Sorry.
Yeah, dude.
Do you feel me though? Like you were probably working a job and or trying to promote, I don't know, Vaseline. You're like, man, like promoting Vaseline ain't really working, man. They ain't nobody really hit me up for these skincare products, you know. So then you're like, I'm gonna start selling feet pics, and then you're like, oh my god, like I made $1 million in feet pics. Like the universe must
I,
be rocking with me in these feet
I
pictures,
guess
man.
I'm doing it. That's
You,
it.
you feel that's and I'm like, did you feel me? And then
Hell
everything
yeah.
that I'm using my past to promote me in my future, I'm like, yo, if I never went to the Marine Corps, I never would have been good at airsoft. So
Yeah.
if I would have went the gang path, I probably would be in jail right now. You feel me? I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
life is crazy. Like,
Isn't it?
because they say the truest form of hell is seeing yourself and seeing your true potential and what you could have been.
Hmm.
So do you think you're at your true potential?
No.
Why not?
I think I'm finding it because I struggled with this too much, overthinking shit. But honestly, for 20 years, my wife and I had 5 kids, all close together, and my number one goal, and my wife's as well, was to teach these kids how to be responsible, how to be productive, how to be, not have the same mental struggles that we had. So, and every parent approaches that differently. Um, so there's, a balance between love and nurture and discipline. And you're guessing, and hopefully you get it right. And then you throw in the personalities with each kid or whatever. So, I was very busy, just basic shit. Like, kids don't rest, bro. They
I
don't
don't.
take a day off.
No,
Okay. So,
I feel you. I played stepdad a couple times. I feel you. No,
so,
no, no.
you know,
I feel you.
yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was the last 20 years were a blur. It was fun. It was exciting. We, did a bunch of shit with the kids. I worked a shit ton of overtime.
Mm,
Barely slept.
mm,
So that is, I didn't really have, I think when that started slowing down as the kids got older, my wife and I started dealing with our issues
mm,
that we never, that were on the back burner because we're so fucking busy. Um, and then that's with each other, our relationship, and then issues with our own selves, like, oh shit, I never dealt with this. What the fuck? Like, why is this coming up now? And I'm going, where the fuck did this come from? So, that's any anything that I haven't reached my potential is 100% because I put the obstacle in front of me and said, oh, this obstacle is more important than moving forward to this. No, I'm not ready to move forward. I want to stay here because I want to deal with this first. I want everything to be right before I take the next step. And that old saying I read in another book, years ago. The monkey bars, right? When you're a kid,
yeah.
and when you're young enough, they're a little too far apart. You got to let go of this one to grab this one. So you got to jump a little.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's it. So you got to let go of the past, and grab this one to move forward,
Mm.
and that's a hard thing to get over sometimes. So
And it's crazy you say that because that brings this a lot of things full circle I because I read Revelations and I was very spiritual. I wasn't religious. I was very spiritual. I was always curious and all that jazz. Um, I was always reading like books and stuff. So like I was always curious about life and death and like adulthood and whatnot. And like you went the parent route early. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Like not early, almost just in time. But like you know how we have some 19-year-old friends that had kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm experiencing everything you're saying right now, like learning myself and like going through my traumatic past. Like on my I think I have the gift of self-reflection. Like
Mm,
and I think I got that gift because I was always alone as a kid. So I had no
gotcha.
choice but to reflect on whatever. I
Uh-huh.
remember so like I really resonate with that. And like I came back home because I felt as if the universe had me settle some things in my past. And that's why I really understood some things that happened to me as a child because I came back home. And shortly as I was coming back home, um, it was after a breakup because I lived in Michigan for a little bit. And during this breakup, I was dating this girl, and we broke up. And then she was trying to like reconcile, trying to like I don't know, get back with me, and I was like, nah, but we were still like remaining friends and still kind of talking, and bro, eh, stuff started coming up missing. Like my wallet came up, my ID came up missing, my car keys came up missing, like little by little here and there, randomly. And she always be the one to find it. And long story short, after this breakup, she got her. I went to sleep one day, and I had a headache, so took some aspirin, went to sleep. Got woken up by my roommate, and he says, "Hey, yo, your girlfriend's in trouble. We gotta go to her house right now." I'm like, waking up, what's going on? I see him in boxers as I'm waking up with a gun in his hand. I'm like, oh snap! Like, what's going on? He's like, she's in
Mm-hmm.
trouble. We gotta go. So I'm grabbing my gun, and my cell phone. As I'm opening up my phone got like 27 messages, a whole bunch of 27 missed calls, a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm opening it, and I see my girlfriend at the time tied up with like white paint on her. And like a voicemail, her screaming, crying for help, like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And like and like we're in the car driving to her house, like 30-minute drive at this point. So like I'm just catching up on all these messages and stuff. And like there's a group message, and like it was like a whole bunch of group messages. And like it was like every contact in her phone, her mom, her dad, like coworkers, all that, everyone in her phone, every contact was like in a group message. And it was like, shall I tell you, like, this, I'm gonna save this girl from her sins and woo doo doo. And like I can't remember everything that was said, but like
What?
I got a private, I think I can
That's
find it
fucking
if
crazy,
if you give me
bro.
some time. Like I can, like, I'll pull this up and I'll show you the picture. Like, give me a second, because I sent it to somebody at some point in time. So let me see if I can find it, because like whoo boy, hold up 1 second. I'm looking through if I sent it to anybody. Do 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 do. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. I'm looking. I had to send it to somebody at some point in time because like it was such a big deal. Hold up. Um, but anywho, and she got covered in white paint and all that jazz, and we went to her house, and like it was some dude. So she basically we went out to dinner or something like that around like noon, and then like got dropped off by her at like, I don't know, like 3 or something. So about 4 o'clock I had a headache, went to bed, and I woke up by a roommate, and all that stuff happened. And because it was like the same night, and it was like at 10:30, 11:30 or something like that night, we're driving to her house and all that. And basically that whole time, that whole day, a dude broke into her house and was like hiding in her closet,
Mm,
waited until she cooked dinner, and then put her daughter to sleep, came out the closet, made her tie up her dog,
Jesus.
stripped her naked, did some things to her with a banana so she would know what it feels like to have sex with a monkey,
What?
tied her up, threw white paint on her, took a picture of it, sent it to everyone on her phone, including me, and then sent me that voicemail, her crying, scream for help, and all that. And long story short, we wound up moving her and her daughter into our house, setting up like surveillance cameras. We had like fire watch. We were like taking night shifts in the living room, like overseeing the front yard, like me and my
Jesus.
homie, for like this went on for like 3 months. And like I remember like washing white paint out of her hair and stuff like that, and like moving her
That's
kids
crazy.
into the school district. And yo, it gets crazy, dude. And like so, as stuff was coming up missing, I'm like, yo, like where's all my stuff? Because like me and my homie would go to the bar every now and again, just have bro time. You feel me? Distress,
Yeah.
woo doo woo doo. And as we're going out bar, and we have a homie come and watch the house with his girlfriend, because his girlfriend was there, and my girlfriend at the time with her kid was there. So we had a homie with a gun come stay watch the house. We didn't know where this guy was because he just broke out. We don't know where he was, and it's not,
Right.
it's not none of her ex boyfriends or nothing. And so, anywho, we go out, and I couldn't go out anymore because she had my IDs and stuff. And come to find out, the police started like, coming around the house and like taking the kid away from her and this, that, and third. And long story short, she basically made all that up and did all that just so she can get back with me. She did all that to herself.
Oh my God.
And I found out because she had to go to court, right, for for the whole thing, and they arrested her in court and then handed me like a paper, like paperwork with her saying that during the investigation that she wanted to get back with me. Like I'm literally gonna try to find that picture. Like so like
Bro, that's extreme. Holy shit.
And then I leave Michigan, come back home. Like they know they don't I don't really open up, so my family didn't really know that. They just know that I'm coming back home. And so I'm coming back home with all my stuff, and I pull up in a driveway, and they basically tell me I can't live here because I had girlfriends in the house when I was in high school. So I don't know, my grandma's too old to deal with me, I guess. So they think I'm a wild child.
Mm,
I don't know. So yeah, that's crazy. So I was homeless, and
Jesus.
and I didn't know where to go. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't even know anybody in my hometown for real anymore. It's like, what am I gonna do? And I wound up going to this convenience store locally and like kind of like sitting in the parking lot and like gathering myself. And like I just got into a relationship with this new girl, so I was like, I couldn't really tell her all this stuff, and I really know how to deal with all this. I was like, oh my God,
Shit.
like it was just like, cause like I started talking. So during this breakup, I started like confiding in someone. Like it was kind of random because they like popped up in my life, and I was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And then like I was driving home, so all it was like so much stuff at once. So I was like realized I was kind of talking to this person and realized I was homeless and dealing with this whole like traumatic like weird breakup and stuff. So I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. So I wound up bumping into my friend from high school, and we used to play football together. We like when we were little, so
Yeah.
I bumped into each other, explained the situation, and I wound up living in his basement. And then like realized he was like kind of like a drug addict, like a burnout. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know people change for real like that after high school. I heard all the rumors and all that jazz, but I didn't really see it. And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, you really changed. And I realized he was a racist burnout, and he didn't like. He was one of those people that didn't like the hard R, but you're cool though. You're a cool black person though. I'm cool with you. I'm like, tight, tight. And I feel like he tried to kill me in my sleep, but I'm not for sure because so I was living
What?
it's crazy. Okay, listen, hear me out. So I was living in the basement, and like the bed is like right underneath the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and me and my girlfriend at the time, was sleeping, and um I woke up to like I was like, something sound. You smell that? And like I felt like like a wood kind of fire, and like as I kind of like waking up a little more because I didn't have doors. I had like sheet curtains. I pulled back the sheet
Mm-hmm.
curtains, and it's like the thickest smoke. And like and I'm like, oh shit, oh snap, something's on fire.
Right.
So like I walk up the basement stairs, and like there's like food burning on the stove. I'm like, and he's asleep ironically in his room. I'm like, okay.
Holy
But
shit.
like it was like made to believe as if I was like tripping. Like it was just a fire. I'm like, bro, you could have killed me, bro. You could have killed us. That could have fell down and killed us or something, Because we were sleeping, like we were deep into
Oh, he
sleep, and
would
it
have
was on
been killed
fire.
first. That
Yeah,
smoke would have went in his room before it would have went downstairs.
exactly. And what would have happened?
Mm.
What would it? El Berno Cosa, cuz, you know what I'm saying? I would have a little s'more down there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I lived a weird life, man, and it was like a very weird roller coaster. And like this is like my first time explaining it, so I don't really know how to be anything else than raw about it.
Absolutely. Should be.
And like you were just as confused about the direction of the story as I was about figuring out where I was going in life. And like I didn't even I feel like I lived a lie. Like so
Hmm.
like I feel like I have to relearn myself. And I'm relearning myself through airsoft and like finding friends that like we talk about all the time, go where you're celebrated and all that, but I really feel that in this community. I mean,
Yeah.
the dude, and that's all about just being. Stop worrying about the content, numbers, and all that. Just have fun.
Yeah. For
And
real, bro.
it's really dope meeting people like you and being able to
Thanks, man.
connect to people because you're like I said before, you're a real genuine person. You have a real honest story. You're a real honest man about it. You know, we're both
Appreciate
Marines,
it.
so I rock with you, my guy. Like
Hell yeah.
till Valhalla and back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We'll always have that, bro. That's a brotherhood.
Oh, hey, for real. And I look at people. People say, "How did I get good at airsoft?" And um, I can only say I play as if I'm gonna die out there each time I
Mm.
play. Like you, what are you gonna do when you're in a situation, you know, like in a real deal situation? People say, "Oh, I'm going out there and be tactical," but you can't be tactical because you don't really know how to be tactical. You're kind of like
Hmm.
faking it. It's like cosplay to you at that point in time. You believe in what you see on Call of Duty and whatnot. You don't really have the knowledge. So like the Big Bad Wolf to you is like King Von, like a music video. You never really been exposed to the Big Bad Wolf, and if you have, I mean, then you know that there's bigger things out there, and you know there's scarier things out there. So what are you gonna do when that time comes? You know what I mean? So like you should really, if you're a sniper, bro, you should really put your crosshairs on his forehead, and if you shoot his forehead, then you can call yourself accurate. Like after you do that 4 times consecutively, then you can be like, all right, I can plot my shot. I know where I'm shooting each time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But until you challenge yourself, like I don't really feel like you're doing anything in airsoft for yourself. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of wasting your money, and then in a hold up, pause. Where you come into the waste of your money part is when you're worrying about the content, and then you're just kind of like doing lackluster stuff. Like if you
Right.
make content, try to improve yourself, and try to get better each time, not just in the game, but in your editing, in your delivery, in your
Right.
marketing, in your networking. Don't just fake it until you make it. Actually, make genuine connections with people and see where that goes for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like some people come into airsoft as if airsoft is going to make them money, but it's actually deeper than that because you're not just fueling airsoft algorithm, you're fueling the YouTube algorithm. And that's hard work within itself to get money from that because you have to have 1,000 subscribers and then over 4,000 hours
4,000.
watched. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard work in itself. So then you have to learn how to not just promote and make content and all that. Then you have to learn how to be engaging. You have to learn the algorithm. You have to learn yourself. You have to learn yourself as a content creator. Who do you want to be and who are you representing? You feel me? Not just like by that, don't mean like, oh, I represent black people or white people. I mean like, what are you? Who are you? You know, where are you
Yeah.
going? What do you want? Where do you want to go? Where does your end result? Until you answer that, you can't really call yourself anything, in my opinion. And I can't even call myself anything. I'm still learning my gosh darn self. But I can say that I know a little bit about something. Like, because
Just
at
a
the end of the
little.
day, at the end of the day, dude, I'm just a black kid from the hood that became a Marine that doesn't really know anything, man. Like, and even become a Marine. Sure, is it dope? Sure, it's great. Yep, dope. Hurrah, right? But it's just stories because I'm just codenamed Ruby to you at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, man. Well, we all are.
Right,
Well,
right.
while we're in, we're not even a name, bro. We're numbers, and then so it's
Even that's
learning.
mind-boggling.
Yeah, your numbers, your numbers.
We're just single-celled organisms floating on a rock on the back of a turtle, dude.
I love it. Well, listen, bro. Uh, I'm really glad we got to get on here for real, and I appreciate you being on here. I appreciate what you're doing in the community. I know. Well, I hear the same thing. People tell me when they come on a podcast, man, I appreciate what you're doing for the airsoft community. I'm like, oh, okay. Like
Right,
I don't know what I'm doing.
right.
Like, bro, I'm doing what I love. Honestly, I'm talking with people, I'm meeting new people. This is great. So, yeah, I don't look at it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. That's how I think that's how most people are when you do something you enjoy. And so, yeah, I did try a bunch of different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying earlier, and then I'm not at my full potential, but I'm on the right path. I'm very comfortable with myself. I don't have those demons anymore. I don't have the nightmares anymore. I don't have the constant mental ping pong, and a lot of that's calmed down. Okay, and I have so I'm comfortable with who I am and where I am in life. I'm done with the keep up with the Joneses thing. It's never really my thing anyway. Um, so I'm not as far as materialistic kind of person. How we I guess think of those kind of people. I'm not one of those. I don't. gauge somebody's worth on that. I only care about character and action. Okay,
Mm.
so that is, I don't care about anything else. Race, religion. We can all find common ground on something. Respect is huge. Good manners. Okay, so that is, love and respect, man. That
All right.
is 100%. So yeah, man. But that's I appreciate you, doing what you're doing. You've impacted a lot of people because I hear it. I hear it, and I see what you're doing. I see you're out there in person, in real life, meeting up with people, promoting what the community, what you're doing, and it's a good thing, man. Yeah, that's
I
you know,
appreciate you, man.
absolutely, dude.
I'm just trying to
So,
figure it out.
oh, for sure, that's never gonna stop. We're never gonna have it figured out.
Nuh-uh.
Nobody has all their shit together. I promise you.
I guess that's the part of adulthood, huh?
Oh, that's it. Well, tell everybody where they can find you and your awesome podcast and everything.
Hey man, you can find me at YouTube at Goldie's Room. That is Goldies, and then with a space and then room. And then you can also find me on Instagram at I am Ruby Gold, and that is Ruby with two D's at the end of gold, man. So that's RubyGoldd, man. And I would love follow me, and I'd love to follow you back, check you out, see what you're doing out there, rather you're airsofting, rapping, doing some OnlyFans things. I'd love to talk to you, get to know your story, and meet you in person.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I
Hey,
much respect, bro.
thank you very much for having me on your podcast, man. It was great to finally crack open a can of worms and really kind of sort of tell my story. I'd love to come back on here, meet you again, talk to you, and
Absolutely.
hopefully, we talk about some great things because, November 19th, man, Shot Zone, the Pit Fighter tournament's coming on, man. The 4v4, two pistols, two rifles, we got, HSS Houdini, everybody out there coming out, man. So, I can't wait to talk about that after the fact, give you a little review, what I'm saying? Check that out. Thank you.
Hell yeah, buddy. You have a good night, man. I appreciate you.
You too. Peace.